Let's go, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are live. It is game time. You have history in the making, no exaggeration. There's a lot to go over. We covered it on the watch list. Even now, whatever happened last night is still remaining. We are going to hear some escalation, but generally, if these tariff rates stay where we're at, man, this is historical, and it's going to lead to a whole different function. And now you're going to have the market digesting a lot of this. So we got a couple of minutes here, baby. Let's go over some plays. I have a few that I will be looking at. I'm going to be watching Apple, Boeing, NVIDIA, TLT, Gold, USO, Nike, Caterpillar, KRE, XLF, XLP, J&J, BMY, MO, and Shopify. So, yeah, it's literally everything. We have to manage a lot of our plays. And actually, I'll just tell you guys now in a minute. I don't know if I have time. I see a lot of people talking about, they keep bringing up the calculation. And they're like, oh my gosh, the calculation. What idiot did this? And it's just funny because my reaction to all of this, it's like a bomb just got rolled out. And I'm watching all these smart-ass nerds. And they're like, oh, they didn't even use a switchboard? This is how they calculated the uranium? And I'm just looking at everybody. I'm like, it's a fucking bomb. What are you saying? Do you not see it? And they're like, oh, who calculated? I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You're worried about the calculation. I'm worried about the bomb. So, yeah. But poster plays, baby. Let's go. We got about 20 seconds. Let's have a good one. And I wish you the best of luck. And God bless America, baby. God bless America. Let's see where we're at open. Make a couple free. Decide what you're going to hold. Decide what you are going to sell, my friends. Game time. 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Fight. All right. My portfolio's tweaking out. Oh! All right. You got QQQs and UVXYs should pay for everything. I might end up hitting that. Yeah. All right. We're going to do it. So literally, QQQ and UVXY will literally pay for every single play you made and some. So you could walk away, close those out. And then you also have the, oh, what? Yo, TLTs. TLTs are lagging. What the fuck? Go to TLT. Wait, if that doesn't adjust, those are going to be really cheap. All right, some shit's already coming down. Oh, they're hoeing on these. All right. See if we go a little low. I'm looking for another play right now. All right, only gave me a couple. Let me update this. See where we're at. Again, watch Nike and Target. Those are going to be the big ones. Dude, the TLTs are lagging. I think TLT is a very interesting player. It's not open. Maybe the option isn't open. That could be it. All right, you're coming up a little bit. Yeah, those UVXYs are killing it. I think we might do that. Apple shares fall 8.5. All right, I grabbed one play. I'm waiting for another. I still haven't sold anything yet. So that's why I'm looking. I might have to get one out. Robinhood is effed. Oh, that sucks. Let's see. Oh, yeah, all this I'm going to hold some of those calls, but like I told you, we have old Pepsis that came back. But essentially, you could flip some of them. All right. check a little bit more value. Oh, yeah, a lot of old plays came back. Again, I'm looking at staples right now. I want to see. I do want to take one of these, but for now, you're right next to the 54.35. All right, couple things moving. NASDAQ is going vertical. All right, that's going to chop premiums. Okay, I'm out of the QQQ. And then I'm going to take the UVXY as well, because that's just going to pay for everything. So they take all your, and then all your calls are free now. Every single call you've made in the last 2 weeks, pretty much. Okay, there it is. Now the TLT. TLT opened up. Those little scammers. All right. All right, I sold most of the TLTs. Yeah, I almost sell all of them. Fuck that. I guess I still have 10 of them left. Okay, taking profit. That's good, though. Get money. I'm already paid now. So I'm doing this so that we could just play whatever in the future. And then you have any calls, they'll come right back. And then I have a whole nother set of plays that we got to talk about. Nice. All right. Robinhood is I think that's why you're just melting up. But remember, cash open, it does look like we're running up. Eventually it's going to stop, but get ready. There's going to be another put play, and then there's going to be, this confusion of everyone saying, how is this happening? Oh, yo, those Myrnas are up too. That Myrna's up 200% for some reason. All right. Wow. Bro, this is crazy, actually. Oh, it's because those are really cheap. All right, you're coming back down. See if this is the one. Watch value. Again, I already took my profit, so you could still decline, but the idea is we're going to play with this along the way. But yeah, a couple, dude, even value. Look at that Procter & Gamble. That's sold off. Nike's still down. Netflix showing some strength. Interesting. Again, let me see those other ones. Yeah, you have old Pepsis that shot up too. Remember, that was the rollover. Honestly, those are holding up great. SPY starting to go a little bit more. Target below 95. Hey, yo, HYG. Oh, I forgot about that. HYG is a pure downside play. Those are coming up. I forgot. And then SPY dancing at VWO. Mexico working on addressing steel and auto tariffs. Shine bomb. All right, you're coming down a little bit. Is there any value in the other ones? Oh, you could still get some value from the calls. That's funny. All righty. Walmart going up. Oh, we still have those plays too. See if that leads. Walmart might. It's only down 1. I want a good value play, but honestly, some of the value moves, they gapped up, but they're not like moving. Okay, watch SPY and TLT. Why won't these go down? Bros, avant. All right, I got your play, big. Oh, no. Fuck. Bro, you got the ISM services in a second. Oh, so think about that. So literally we have ISM services because I was looking at a play and I'm like, wait a minute. Everything might move a lot after this. That's what you got to watch out for. Yeah, 22 minutes. UPS, yeah, they should die. They're part of those other trades. Kind of makes sense. All right, I'm waiting. Watch value, though. That'll probably be the next one. Again, I hope you monetize some of the puts because that's it. It's already a win. So I'm telling you, we got all the cash back. I held a lot of calls, but even those just 2 put plays, 3 of them, pretty much TLT, UVXY, and QQQ straddle, that paid for everything. So that's what I'm saying. Make sure you pay for it all, rebalance, don't get FOMO, and then start shopping value and then get ready for the next set of puts because we're going to have a whole day. Or, again, the next catalyst to get us up or down. Doesn't necessarily have to be puts if you get a positive escalation thing, you know? So it doesn't have to be negative. All right, Tesla. Apple's flushing, bro. All right, Apple going down. Watch out for that. Again, Apple and Boeing, we talked about it. Apple's already down 8%. Yeah, so, yeah, Apple puts are literally up 2,000%. Kind of ridiculous. That's funny. I found a play. There's some plays that are just lagging heavy. I think it's kind of funny. Oh, they just scammed me. Okay, red. Yeah, DG. I thought they'd be down actually because some of those names fell. Okay, you're moving. Watch out here. Okay, I got another play we're going to do. Wait, what? Okay, I'm starting with laggers right now. There's a couple of plays that are lagging, aka BX, big flush on Blackstone. They could become some China exposure. But there's like a lot of, BX is really dropping. But there's some plays that are lagging because they're lower quality. So like literally Apple, 2,000% on the puts. There's a couple of them that are lower quality that aren't up. So my general idea is I'm going to start with a couple of these types of plays, and then we're going to go near the money, and then hopefully wait for a straddle. And honestly, you might be able to get one around ISM. Amazon and ANET. Okay, you're coming back down. So watch some of those plays that I called out on there. But like I'm saying, some plays, if it's shitty quality, you just want to go for the flip. That's it. You're not don't get married to any of these ideas, more or less. VIX is at 26. I know I had a 23 or a 24 call, I think. So as I was saying, all the plays we woke up to in the money, that was enough to pay for everything and profit. So I figured I'd get rid of them, and then we're going to try to find another one. Look at BX. That volume's crazy. Again, Apple near the low already. There's Boeing. McDonald's. That's a good idea. Oh, what's the other one? Damn, you could just go for the XLP index, low key. Yeah, that one's actually moving. Holy shit. And then what time is it? Again, you're going to get data here in what? 15 minutes? 17 minutes? All right, SPY coming down again. Be on watch for that. Oh, maybe we should start with the shitty ones too. Hold on. I didn't even think about it. I got QQQ up there. Oh, no way. Yeah, that's the one I was flipping. That's why. Well, that's going to be a good one to watch. There's Walmart. Honestly, Walmart. Let's see if we could double dip. Remember, where those calls are up, bro. They washed so many of my calls. That's what sucks about this. I like the game. Oh, wait. What? No, dude. The Walmart plays are up 200% again. Jeez. No, watch Wally World. All right. Well, I thought that would have been washed, but I guess not. Tariff proof. S&P PMI 54.2 versus 54.4 versus 54.2. Again, that's actually not the one you want. Remember, you want the ISM. Do not be fooled by the other one. McKesson is just a value. Okay, watch those Walmarts. Watch Staples. You're coming down. Again, I grabbed 3 sets of shitty plays. I threw small place markers just in case we move from here. Pretty much far out of the money, hasn't reacted yet. We monetized our in the money, far out the money just in case, and now we pretty much wait. But I do think in the next 15 minutes, that will be the data that we will react to. You could potentially get a much larger move. Yeah, bro, those Walmarts are ripping. I still like that. And even HYG. Okay, SPY dancing around. My goodness. McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's is doing decent. Again, anything. Look at XLP. That's in the top right. That's good. I only have a couple of the staple plays. They're moving a lot slower, but it's definitely in play right now. All right, you're still going down. Watch TLT. Couple of value names are starting to slip. Palantir on the high. What's this? And then Netflix and then Roblo. You got a couple of winners doing their thing. So ZB, let's get up peso. Poof! Canada's loving this, bro. And Mexico. What? Yeah, bro, look at that. These should be ripping even more. Yeah, look at that. Mexico's just breaking out. So think about that. In the scope of everything, you got one country just loving this. All right, you're going a little lower again. Bro, Walmart's starting to take off. I like those. That's the first one that's finally like going. The other ones are just so light. I don't know how to describe it besides that. All right, SPY new low. What the hell? So I guess we should have held, but again, I bought a lot of out of the monies right there, so that may end up working. But point is, you're already testing the low of the day. You're getting a little bit more of that volatility, so be on watch. Again, premiums are just holding wherever they were at the morning. TLTs are going crazy. Okay, there you go. Now it's leveling out. They were just widening spreads. And then, like I'm telling you, in 10 minutes, that is going to be your big one. The ISM. All the QQQs went up 1,000%, damn it. All right. Russell down 4.5, on track to enter a bear market. All right, bonds are ripping back up. So again, I hope our double dip works. And then I got one more idea for you. And yeah, I know I left the wire up. It's volatility. I love you. Just keep that in mind next time you get mad. Okay, I love you. God bless America. Shine Boss says there will be measures taken to mitigate the effects of tariffs. All right, yo, premiums are jumping on that. All right. So we got Mexico comments right now, taking to mitigate effects of German automakers in Mexico when asked about it. So you're getting some. I'm going with the straddle, not on the SPY. All right. Well, nice bounce. Like I was telling you guys yesterday, watch if you get any effect with like bonds too. Like kind of if they move hand in hand with the market. Now they're inversing, but see a little bit here. They're kind of moving together. But you do got Mexico comments. It says German automakers should export parts within the framework of USMCA. That sounds good. It sounds like Mexico is agreeing because they got the better end of the deal. Again, EWW is in the bottom right now. That's the one that is doing good. I think Walmart is benefiting because they're just the cheap big box store. So, like Target, CCJ moving, and TSM. But like, where do people shop when things get expensive? I think that's the winner. It's a staple, but a lot of big box stores went down. So like we talked about, I wouldn't be surprised. You're going to get a very big divergence between winners and losers very soon. Yeah, no, it's true. Walmart can like squeeze their suppliers more than like a Target can. That's why they keep talking about China and stuff like that too. All right, man, you're starting to rip now out of nowhere. Not really. It was the Mexico comments. Because you got to think about it. You're hearing negotiations, all of that. And now first comment was generally positive. Again, von der Leyen said they'll wait to respond. Now you have Mexico saying, yeah, you should work within the framework. So there's been a couple of negative headlines, but that's not bad. All right, you hit VWAP at chillin', cytokinesis, popping. That is a biotech. Baba's on the high now. Mexico, Scheinbaum says she doesn't expect a call with Trump to happen soon. I don't know if that's good or bad. So she talked good and then says she doesn't know when she's going to talk to your boy. And then Baba's getting a candle. Surprisingly, Baba is like almost break even. All right, so Spy still just dancing there at VWAP. Very interesting dynamic of what's actually moving here. It's been about 30 minutes, so I'll give you the update very, very shortly. Yeah, data in 7 minutes. That's why I did this straddle. I might even do another one after, but long story short, some of the straddles before the data, they've been good. The only weird part is that puts are skewed right now. So I did go a little out of the money because we already monetized all of the in the monies and near the money. So we'll see, but it's definitely an interesting dynamic. All right, you're coming back down. Baba, like I'm saying, Baba is starting to wake up out of nowhere. That's very interesting. Baba is closer to green than not. China negotiations likely soon. Scheinbaum in touch with Mercedes, Volkswagen, and BMW. So again, Mexico president is talking right now, and that is you're getting some movements. Like I was telling you from even last night, Mexico's a winner. Same thing with Canada, and then you could kind of see it. Oh, Shopify too. That's the other one. Broadcom. Restoration's down 40. What the fuck? Oh, I'm mad. I had to play. Netflix is just green. Remember, Netflix has earnings. And then, again, I've been locked into the plays here today. So I don't really have as much time to Chad babysit. So I'm glad that you did good on Lulu, but you didn't post the play. So I'm going to use you as an example and ban you so that everybody knows you get banned for flexing without posting the play. So even if you say thank you, Josh, and try to give me credit, I don't really care because that's the reality, unfortunately. Yeah, China negotiations likely to happen soon. So literally, that's why Baba's moving if you want that. But like I'm telling you here, 4 minutes ISM data, that's going to be the big one. Mexican president says U.S. tariffs linked to fentanyl and migration could drop to 12 from 25 with greater collaboration. So she's talking good. You're just dumping. And then again, you're gonna hear from a couple of people soon, and China apparently. And then we're gonna get the ISM data. Look at Apple, that hasn't broken yet. Bro, even staples are like getting drawn down on this. So yeah, you got to kind of watch out for that. That's a very interesting dynamic. All righty. All right, 3 minutes. Abby Vice still green. I'll get you the checkup here in a second, but I would start preparing for the data. That's really what we're going to be needing. All right, you're still going lower. I know I wish the preems were cheaper too, but there's still some opportunities. You got to just kind of work your way through it. And then it's early too. Just make no mistake, how many volatile days have we seen? And then literally by like 10, 11, it could look completely different. So no matter what, just this is still like the morning reaction. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, you have data literally right around the corner. So in about 2 minutes, we're going to get ISM services. This is going to move bonds. Look at Baba's moving on the China shit. Bro, even some of the other names. I can't believe it. Baba's about to be green. And now VIX is going up. So, yeah, I'd finalize a set, or maybe this will either this is either going to start or end the volatility, the ISM pretty much. So get ready for it. This comes down in about a minute and a half. The number you're looking for is 53. And then just watch prices and then new orders, because then that'll be the stagflation or not. So what's probably going to happen, new orders is probably going to plummet, and then prices is going to come up. Yeah, and then before you know it, you'll just have more stagflationary data. If you trigger the circuit breaker, they just halt the market. You're not there yet. Again, in a weird way, the gap down is big, but the intraday movement is tiny. All right, 1 minute. But yeah, like I'm saying, this is going to kind of be a trigger event. This will either be the start or end of some things. NVIDIA going. NVIDIA, SMCI, Baba. I kind of like NVIDIA's. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Actually, kind of crazy. All right, 30 seconds. Okay, 20 seconds. Good luck. First solar again. The high ticker has some random ass names on it. 10 seconds. Okay, and you'll see it come across the wire. Do. Woo! Okay. I is 52. Ooh. Or 50.8. It plummeted. So watch, that's not good, because just like on Friday, bonds are going to rip, but essentially people are going to start getting worried about the economy now and demand destruction. But yeah, non-manufacturing 60.9. Yeah, they all plummeted. And then new orders plummeted, and then prices plummeted. Oh, wow. I don't know then. Hold on. That wasn't as stagflation. It was just bad. That's it. All it was everything literally came down. So bonds or prices dropped, new orders dropped, sentiment dropped, employment dropped. Employment plummeted. Oh, shit. What the fuck? So, yeah, now let's see. Back in the day, this would have been really good for the market because everybody would be saying rate cuts, right? But I don't know if this is going to lead everybody to be like, oh, my gosh, now recession. So that's kind of the problem. But look, ISM, that finally showed something. That was the first employment data I've seen fall off a cliff. But yeah, that just happened. 10-year falls below 4%. First time since October. All right, well, data is weak. Should be good for bonds. I don't know what's going to happen to equities. Are you hearing me right now? Like I'm saying, I think obviously there's already a little bit of fear, but that'll probably be good for bonds, but I don't know what that means for those equities. So watch out for that. Let me see. Where's the other one? Huh. Yeah. That's weird. The puts are dropped way more than the calls. That straddle did not look good. That last one, I'm looking at it right now because the puts out of the money are declining. So yeah, you might have to go back to the near the monies. Low key. Well, just wait. We're gonna have a lot more of the day, but the way I'm looking at it, it's kind of been a premium game. Yeah, no, the out of the monies, there's a couple, but even in this environment, they're still not. The only way you're going to make money is on the near the money, sadly. Unless we get like another 5% move or a gap down. There's some signs of rotation. I mean, as staples are literally up 0.5%, but they have given, it's weaker in the sense that not everything's going up. And it's been 30 minutes. So keep that in mind, my brethren. All right, now the puts, they're both matched up, though. Last straddle did not work. So premiums are a little too high. All right, gold starting to rip. UVXY. Yalla. It's weird, but the out of the money SPY play I made in the morning, those are up 25%. The QQQ, that did not move. That one's wild. It's going to move now. That's it. They just hit me on the tax. So you're going to get taxed a little bit. Now the put's going green. You just can't have a green candle. But you're selling off a little bit more, 543. I'm shocked the bonds. Even after that data, the bonds are still holding. Like I said, equities, we're doing our own thing. I don't know. But even with that poor ISM data, I don't know if it's kind of hinting that maybe tomorrow jobs report is terrible. I have not bought anything for the long term. I can't believe it. Okay, still going lower. Bonds are tweaking out. Well, I think rate cut odds, but that wasn't, ironically enough, though, I don't know if you guys realize what just happened. That was your first set of data that wasn't stagflationary. That was just bad. But now you also have the bond. Like, look at this. This is weird. Because now when it was stagflationary, the bond reaction was weird. But this one wasn't stagflationary. This was just bad. So this should raise rate cut odds. But now everything's still getting pulled down. So watch out. This reaction is not going to be it's not going to be easy, bro. Alrighty. You don't see no stagflation. Alcoa, where Baba came down. Procter Gamble's already sold one, bro. So, like, look, values are slipping, but then again, this might lead to the rotation. So watch. Money went to staples, coming out a little bit. Money's even coming out of bonds after that, and now see where you're at on the market. ARM. Okay, traders fully price in Fed cut in June. All right, what level are we at? Gold is ripping. Oh, shit. You're at the level. So 54.50, that is literally this line here. That was the low we just bounced off of. And now you're at 54.57. So, yeah, bro, this is that level that we've been at for a while. So it's either going to bounce and then I think it breaks either end of the day or we just flush it now. And then we start, you could just start going down 100 points at a time. We will find out. They're washing calls, though. Kind of crazy. Because, again, some of the calls are really cheap now. Even the ones from the morning. That's what I'm saying. The straddle, the put's coming back now. But there's a very, very big gap. No, ISM was terrible. Everything went down. Every single element of the ISM services dropped. There could be a limit down, but you have to go double. So we're not there yet. And like I said, I don't know if you guys realize this is tiny. This is 3 points intraday. It's just all the gap down. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm closing my put side of the straddle. I'm only going to hold the calls. And then I have my, stupid out the monies. Those aren't going to work. I got out at break even, sadly. Let's see. Yep. Okay, watch the bonds, though, too. This is where it's going to get... This shouldn't have happened. But that's what I'm saying. There might just be a bigger reaction later. But watch now, because this is either going to everything flushes or bonds are just telling you we're going to quickly flush and then level out. So watch out for this. But depending on this dynamic, this is going to make things crazy or not. XLP going red. That's what I'm saying. Things are starting to pull apart. Let me get you a checkup real quick. Okay, hold on. I'm making another one to flip real quick. Yeah, I don't like that bond move. All right, no, fuck. Yeah, bro. You know, it's hella scammy. Honestly, I'm gonna wait. I have to wait till the end of the day. These premiums are nuts, bro. There's way more opportunity to lose than win right now. You got to get them cheap and then wait, but have some patience on it. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, I've already taken a lot of money out of it. Any of these secondary plays this morning, the VIX is up a lot, and you're just getting, bro. The premiums are just dumb. It doesn't make any sense. The house is on fire essentially. All right, let me get you the checkup. So Dow Jones, 8 names in the green, 22 in the red. NASDAQ, 15 green, 86 in the red. It's kind of weird. We've had days that were worse than this. Is that Pinduo Duo? Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, okay, I thought that was bigger. But yeah, VIX running, Pinduo Duo. Yeah, and then NASDAQ 92 green, or SPY 92 green, 411 in the red. $39. Yeah, you would have made $10 on that move. Terrible. Those other SPY plays are 50% from the morning, but that's it. I only have one out of the money. I think the Apple hit. No, Apple didn't hit. Yeah, only the SPY, literally daily SPY play worked. That's the best I could offer you. I'm looking at the values. Well, I think the play is going to be with time. Just like we talked about, this is reaction number 1. We're going to get a little bit more. Your opportunity is going to be on the reverse. Either or. All you need is burn time. One bounce with doing nothing. That'll buy us enough time to get good premium. But right now, the premium is jacked. And that's why it's very, very difficult, because everything you're buying is it's like kind of all in the realm of like guessing, if that makes sense. Because, like, your value and what you're assuming your buy on is, again, you're just guessing. Oh, the call side? Yeah, the call kind of is. All right. Oh, those Pepsis came down, little fuckers. Yeah, UNH is one. All right, SPY going down. I should have. Maybe I see. I had a one I switched out the play for, and then I looked at it, but the straddle I sold only went up 10 cents right there. So literally, we were making way more money on the straddle yesterday off of no event. So, yeah, we just got to find the right one. The near the money or the out the money SPY plays, those are going, but that's it. Would have made more by probably just holding. But I'm pretty glad with it. But wait till we get the first pullback or first premium crush, and then I think that's going to open up a lot of plays. NASDAQ down 5%. Circuit breakers 7%. So between now and then, you pretty much just need the next 2% will probably be dependent on an update, right? If we hear a retaliation or not, I think that will be a driver. That NVO just popped and locked. Tesla's only down 5%. Why is Tesla not moving? What is this? The bond is because of stagflation, but I think there's a lot going on that we don't know about even in bond land. Because I'm telling you, yesterday, the other day when it was stagflationary, I'm like, okay, I get it. But even this makes 0 sense. The only thing is that the bonds are already up. That's the only thing that would tell you, well, yeah, they already reacted. But, oh, I didn't react to the peach, baby. On a big day. Are you kidding me? Or not. Bradley Frizzle in the peach, baby. Woo! Amen. Amen, baby. Oh, how you feeling, Brad? There you go. Maybe the market bounces there. Bonds died, but then the peach survives. Okay, I'm going to sell some of those SPY puts. They're still up 40%. Again, these are all shitty plays. That's why I'm like, no fucking way. ECB Casimir tariffs. We still need to wait for European Union response. Coming out now. All right, well, bonds dying, stocks up, more BABA moves, but let's see. This part's, again, the data was terrible. So, like we're saying, at other times, market used to love bad data, but even then, the bond reaction isn't even adding up with that. You don't know Bradley Frizzo? Oh, I have Bradley Frizzo, baby. Well, God bless you, Eddie, and welcome, Burger King. Tariffs are largely factored into forecasts, says Casimir. Mexican President Sheinbaum says there's been talks with automakers and government aims for all of them to export under USMCA. So another positive, Mexico. All right. No. All right. Hold on. Okay, you're getting your first little move, a 6.3 earthquake in Mid-Atlantic Ridge. But, yeah, give me 1 second. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. Real Cult News on Twitter.
A return of manufacturing in the United States.
One was a carrot and one was a stick.
Both of them are lost in this world where the future of manufacturing is automation and robotics, which I know you've talked about, but it's just like, are we really willing to risk it all for that? My other point, on the formula thing, just to hammer this home a little bit more, state to state. U.S. states have deficits with each other. They're not cheating each other on trade and on tariffs. I mean, that just as a simple explanation for why these tariff rates, I think,
every
people
time
are so shocked by that.
You have a trade deficit with your hairstylist.
Guys,
does that mean you need to learn how to style hair?
Right, exactly.
We settled this hundreds of years ago. I mean, whatever the blunt instrument is that they're trying to use in this scenario, if it even worked, you'd be having the U.S. economy go down the value chain. Okay, your iPhone is designed in California and it's made in China, and that's worked out pretty well for us.
I just want to mention the U.S. dollar because there's a lot of noise about the dollar right now, and it's weakening.
Deutsche call.
Yes,
it's a big deal. And people are wondering, okay, this was not supposed to happen, right? All the economists, all the strategists, U.S. tariff rates are going to go up, and the dollar's going to strengthen, and that's going to offset it. Guess what? The dollar's down 2%. That's a huge move.
Crash.
Why? Well, I think the two-year yield tells us a little bit about. There are expectations that the Fed is too restrictive, and they're going to have to lower rates because they're more worried about growth now than about the inflationary impact. By the way, inflation expectations are rising too. But dollar weaker on worse U.S. growth, on Fed needing to cut, on U.S. assets not being as desirable potentially.
Well, that's the thing, because our trade deficit gives dollars to the rest of the world, which comes back into our financial markets and finances our deficit. So there's a lot of links in this chain. I agree with your take on it, though. The market is, yes, one-year inflation expectations are going up, but the bond market is just not pricing that, really. The bond market's pricing the risk to growth and what the Fed's going to have to do. Yes.
More weak growth. I don't think it's losing safe haven status. Gold's not even up today.
I mean, look, if we're above 100 on the dollar index, we were there not that long ago, so.
Sarah, you don't believe, though, the theory that it's just about getting rates down? That's really all it's about? Because you've heard it. I'm sure you've heard it. Everybody wants to talk about that.
They're getting the rates down.
That's
it. They're getting the
burning
rates
down the house to cook a steak. That's the line.
I think if you have followed President Trump since the 1970s, it's been the trade ripoffs, and this is very consistent with his views.
Right.
Mike, thank you. Mike Santoli. President Trump, of course, placing a 25% tariff on all foreign-made autos, which last year accounted for nearly half of all new cars that were purchased in the United States, which comes alongside tariffs in auto parts, which they begin here. They're set to begin on May 3rd. Here to talk about the impact of that sector is the head of Canada's second largest auto parts producer, Jim Jarrell, Linamar CEO and president. He's joining us now. So, Jim, what's going to be the impact on the auto industry?
Well, morning, and thanks for having me here. I think we're getting a little bit more clarity now, which is important, obviously. So what we know right now is we have the auto, obviously the 25% tariff set in place, which of course is you deduct whatever the USA content is. We have the original steel and aluminum, 25% in place. And our understanding right now is anything that really is USMC compliant is exempt. Now there is some details around there that there's a May 3rd date, but we expect that the USMCA compliancy is going to be the record going forward, right? Because again, that was negotiated. I think it was a good deal. The administration, President Trump obviously himself, made that deal back then. So we think that from the auto parts sector, I think being in North America, US, Canada, and Mexico will be exempt, obviously with the initial steel, aluminum, and then now the new auto tariffs in place.
So what does all of that add up to?
Well, for us, it's probably not that material at this point in time. Obviously, the steel and aluminum does have some impact on Linamar, but we're looking at this, more on the opportunistic basis because of what we now see with the USMCA compliancy, and of course, being exempt. Now we can have more trade of parts back and forth across the border, and quite frankly, to have that complexity of putting tariffs on all the components, it's just very difficult, very complex, because there's such a cross-border, arrangement. And it's someone was mentioning the other day, it's like unraveling an omelet, right? There's such an integration what we do together. And quite frankly, now with the clarity, we think that there's probably the trade between the components will remain as it is.
So in Canada, are they breathing a sigh of relief today?
I think there's a bit of a relief on this sector on the component side. I think, of course, on the auto side, the full vehicle, less the deduction of the U.S. content, I think there's some real concern there. I think our leaders understand that we need to make a deal, of course, with the U.S. administration. But again, I think there's a little bit more of a relief today based on where we got to. But I think at the end of the day, from a Linamar perspective, this could be looked at as a business person's nightmare, but we look at it sort of as an entrepreneurial dream for us because we see a lot of growth opportunities for us in the market.
Okay, Jim. Thank you for the take. Appreciate it. Jim Gerald,
right,
Linamar in Canada.
Let's get to Steve Leeson this morning with a closer look at the math behind these new tariffs. You've been busy this morning, Steve.
Yeah, a little reporter's notebook here that I think all you former reporters, anchors on the desk there would appreciate. We're sitting there on the desk last night.
All right, my
President
bad.
Trump says we're charging people half of what they charge us. He puts up that now I'm going to say famous poster board, and I'm looking at those tariffs. I'm like, wait a second. I don't know the tariffs like an encyclopedia, but I'm pretty sure European tariffs are not 39%.
All right. So watch, a couple of names are starting to move. Again, Intel, a lot of you are kind of baffled. So am I. China, I think that one's actually very, very odd. And then, I don't know, Intel looks kind of good. But little by little, we're going to start watching the rotation. But for now, it's still risk off. Everything is still weighing down. It's tricky. It's not as easy to play. Again, like I'm saying, right now, like intraday, even I got a good SPY play off of the morning. It's only up 50%. Like I'm saying, my straddles even, I noticed right away, they weren't really there. So be careful. Premiums are really high. So I don't think there's not plays. It's just like I talked about, it's going to be very challenging. And then now China, this idea of China, that's starting to go. So we'll see. French President Macron meeting with representatives. Trump trades are shock for international trade. There's no way those are green. That's kind of funny. All right, big pop. Honestly, you're going to get a lot of these random ones. Like I'm telling you, look for the rotation. Like, why is Intel going up? Why is China going up? Staples already pulled back, but it's weird right now. You're in the middle between risk off and rotation. So you're not at rotation yet. We still have risk coming off the table. So you're in a weird middle ground right now. But look, China again, Baidu, couple of names. Look at the high ticker. Anything already affected is there. Gold is just uncertainty. So gold should keep ripping, as crazy as that may sound. And then again, the bond shit is weird. That's the other part. Remember, we do have bad data right now. So watch out for that next level of all of this. NVIDIA's not doing too bad. They're just down 5. Same thing with Tesla, just chilling. But I'm very interested in this rotation thing going on. That's what I want to look for. Where's the other one? Bro, I can't do restoration. We should have hit. I was looking at plays the other day, and I was like, but dude, 50% is crazy. All right, so see if this holds up. If you don't get out of here, you're going to keep dribbling down. But if we could kind of break above, get near the low candle of open, this will kind of level it out a little bit. But that's what I'm looking. I just want premiums down. That's the problem right now. I think everybody will get a lot better plays, but in a weird way, you want the premium to decay. So hopefully already took profits, but that's what I'm saying there. That's a big factor that we got to keep in mind. Intel's going again. Yeah, don't know what's going on there. Trump decision on tariff is brutal and groundless, says Macron. And yeah, let me tell you now while you're all listening. I said it this morning, but like I'm saying, I have a lot of people and they're all talking about the calculation. And I do think the calculation is fascinatingly funny, but that's not the point that matters. What's going to matter about the calculation is once we know the real final amount that we're going forward with. But it was a bomb, bro. That's what I was telling. It's like everybody's debating how they made this bomb. And I'm like, no, it's a bomb. This is a very high rate. This is coming from me. I'm the one who is telling you, I don't react until it's in front of me. I'm not here to jump to conclusions and assume. But that's why I'm like, man, the starting negotiation rate in general, the base was lower. There was some good things, but generally, dude, that was wicked. So, because it's just like, wow, they all in. I'm calling all in. Let's see what they have. You tell me. So, yeah, man. Well, I just, like I'm saying, it's a high bet. That's all. I recognize a high bet, and whether I'm not worried about, I'm not taking it seriously in the sense of I know there will be a real rate that gets decided on, but even if it didn't, that's a high bet, and you have to acknowledge that. I think it would be foolish to not acknowledge how historically high it is because, again, Trump was just talking, but he did what he said, and he was easier in some way, but like I'm telling you, those numbers, 37 on China, 50 net total, the EU, like I said on the watch list last night, what went down to Vietnam, Malaysia. I don't think a lot of people even understand how important that is. But like I'm telling you, these are high numbers, and I can't ignore that. Will I think they'll get settled? Of course they will. But if I take it at face value, it's a bomb. We'll see what it gets settled on. But that's where I'm like, you could debate the calculation all you want. But as long as that number stays that high, that is your trade war bomb. Because if anybody wants to play the game now, these are high stakes bets. And that's why I'm like, all right, well, welcome to the war, baby. Yeah, you try to, I'm sorry, man. I knew a lot of people, like, I have some friends who do other businesses, and like, dude, they have Cambodia and Vietnam. Anybody in the last decade, if you wanted to get around China, you went to everywhere else in Asia. And now that there's no escape, that's insanity. And that's why I'm saying that could really, really change a lot of the global trade flows. And that's what I'm saying. Out of yesterday, the China and Euro was like, wow, that was big. That was surprising. But it was that he went to Vietnam and all those other places. Everybody thought, nobody would have thought that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would have thought it would have played out much more differently. Oh, it's a little. Bobble, well, they said, China said there was a headline that they're going to say something. IDF says aircraft struck Hezbollah operative in South Lebanon. And you're not getting out of here, so be careful. Bonds are coming up. They got to do a lot more. Again, there's still data. You're right at this level. I drew this line years ago, and I can't believe we're already back to here. So this is even taking you low-key around your flash crash August zone. But we need to get out of here. You need to break above. Otherwise, if this dribbles back down, you're going to be in the gulag. Big money's nervous. I already had a call with my banker on my big ass long term. Motherfucker already called me, just wanting to know if I had any questions. They're already trying to reassure. So I'm good, bro. I told him I'm good, G. I'm good. Don't worry. Baba's green because it was dropping prior, but then again, people are anticipating something from your boy. I haven't heard why countries have tariffs on us in the first place. Well, just trade. I mean, we have lessons. I got economic lessons. Look at staples. They're coming back up. But don't get lost in the sauce right now. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. Some people just have a lot of fun, just picking apart stuff. Again, I think it was humorous that everybody jumped towards criticizing the calculation. And I'm like, you guys are really not seeing it. It doesn't, none of this shit matters right now. All that matters is that homeboy literally, he just slid all of the chips into the middle of the table. That's where my mind is blown. And that's why I'm like, are you guys really going to go and debate everything else? But because it's just like poker. Once somebody calls all in, bro, like that's it. You either fold or you call. But like you can't spend too much time because at this point, it's like, the bomb is hissing and everybody's pondering the bomb. But I'm like, oh shit, it's a bomb. So yeah, that's where we'll see where it all leads. And because again, if no negotiation, these are terrible. These rates, this is going to restructure and reshape things at a massive rate. Whatever they negotiate to, then there you go. Then we could talk about the final negotiate one. But if it stays like this is a bomb. There's no other way around it, unfortunately. All right, MO's moving. Those plays, though. I should have got a better one. Yeah, those plays didn't work. Out of the monies, bro. Bruh. Very wild. Yeah, bro. Premiums are so crazy right now. Everything is going to be difficult. So I'm glad. I noticed it early, but I'm going to chill. I'm going to chill until this comes down. I did make one other play that worked, but other than that, this is not. Yeah, bro. You have a lot of weird ones. Even on the staples. Even I had 50, 100%. They already came back down to break even though the stock's higher. Premium's just too high. That's what I'm saying. It's moving off of uncertainty. Even then, you even had a weird reaction with the data. So look now, because this is about to start matching up. U.S. Senator Grassley and Cantwell introduced legislation to acquire Congress to approve all new tariffs within 60 days. Can they do that? Isn't tariffs like the right of the president? That's hilarious. They want congressional 60-day approval on tariffs. Macron, Europe must react to tariffs industry by industry. Coca-Cola is on the high now. Yeah, okay, staples are ripping. Yo, value's coming back. This might be it, my friends. MLGO. The best value plays, it's honestly hard to say. They're switching off, and then some have individuals, but a lot of the ones we've played recently, it's not like this is a new topic here. We've killed it on staples, so just any of those plays and just swap them in and out because sometimes some are better than others. Like the other day, some of them got like bad news, so we'll see. Okay, now my Pepsi's just took off. So that play, I was up 50%. Stock, same. Bro, this is so fucked up. So look at, like I was telling you, bro, I'm right here. I'm break even. Here I'm up 50%. Something is, the premiums are tweaking, but staples are going in now. MO, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, J&J, they're all running. So be on watch. Staples are making the move now. So again, you're at the bottom. That means tech could dump again. Bonds can come back up and staples take over. This is your first little mini rotation for now. And then see what China does and then see what chip winners do, aka only Intel. But China's already coming back, but don't ignore that. Let's just see if that holds though. Because if that doesn't hold, we're fucked. Watch banks too. Those are the ones. They're fucking murdered, but they shouldn't be. Those are events that might just take more time to bounce. Yeah, there's Pepsi. What a day, bro. All right, SPY still near the low. Apple stopped moving. Where's Netflix? Remember, they were green for a little bit. And then low ticker getting steam right now. Watch out. You're down 5.5, 5.1 on the NASDAQ, 4.0 on the SPY, 6% on the Russell, and down 3.5 on the Dow. You disagree with me on banks? I feel it. So does the market. It's down 8% right now. But like I'm saying, I think it'll take time, and then I think it'll come back up. Philip Morris all-time high. Cigarettes. Yeah, bro. Look at value, though. That was a nutty move. I think we could have made money on the straddle from yesterday. TLT is dude, this is what I said yesterday. TLT is not reacting. TLT has a lot of upside. It's because of the weird fear. It's because of the stagflation and the other stuff of the data. That's what's kind of keeping it down, but dude, it's actually mind-blowing. But it's already holding. I think with today's data, you would think TLT would be a little higher, but I think people want to figure out what's going on, and it just kind of highlights data is still a little bit ahead of fear. Although sentiment is bad, the bonds don't have that same level of fear. Look at ELF. Yeah, it's down 16, bro. Everything. Again, anybody who relies on Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, and China, all those areas, Indonesia, they're fucked. Again, ELF would qualify for that. So, I'm like I said, this is why we held cash, is it not? I hope you guys, I hope you're grateful for it, because now we just have a lot of cash, and now we are finally getting several names we wanted at prices we haven't seen in years. So you should be shopping, and yeah, now that's it. I still, sadly, I'm waiting for more, because I even told you guys yesterday, like, I think Nike bottoms out at like $52, 52, 53. You do both. You shop now and you buy a little now. It all, again, what's the answer? You should know the answer. There's no confusion about this. It's not meant to be tricky. That just depends on your cash position. Let your portfolio speak to you. You know, if you have a lot of cash, if you are going to ignore some good deals, that's on you. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a lot of cash, I would wait a little still too. Because again, I like this, but if you have a low amount of cash, I hope your low cash highlights to you how you are lagging behind. Because look, the market comes down, your portfolio drags down. Look at all these deals. You know, 5% cash isn't that much. You see what I'm saying? ICCT, just small cap runner. Again, SPY hit the low, not like the actual low, but right there, and then bounced. 40% cash. You have a hard time putting it in. You're not bragging. I don't see 40% cash as like a brag. I don't know if that makes sense. Because it's just like the guy said the other day. I don't know if you guys heard it, but going cash, you're literally saying you know what is going to happen. So if you told me your account is 40% cash, I would ask you for a crystal ball. Because that's what you are implying. 5436, bro. So 5-4, dude, it's just 5,400. That's it. Now you're in flash crash zone, bro. This is crazy. So yeah, even tomorrow now, it's either we hit 5,400 a day, because once you hit 5,400, we start flirting with 53. Yikes. Estee Lauder. I like, again, a lot of these names. I think Nike is going to have more pain, but that's the deepest discount you could get right now with almost a 3% yield, or Target. Target's a 5% yield. Estee Lauder, though, man, look at this. Oof. That one is, yeah, man. We could get a circuit breaker. That is on the table right now. Although I think this reaction is small intraday, all of it is from the gap down. The reality is you are 2% away from a gap down or from a circuit breaker. Is J&J going again? Yeah, so again, value is working. It's so weird, bro. Premiums are jacking up even without movement. Oh, man. Dude, there's a lot of premium. Yeah, if you get, that's the thing, 100%. If we get one crazy retaliation, we're screwed. Or, again, one crazy, folding, we're going to be fine. But, yes, that's 100%. Make no mistake. We are going to be very, headline-driven moving forward. And that's what this whole idea is going to be. All right, man, you're flushing. This sucks. So, again, we made money today. We're up still, and I have some good plays, but I wish we could buy more. Yeah, even those, look at that. Are you ready? Dude, they hate you. You have to go in the money, you guys. Listen to me right now. I hit some good-ass plays. In the money paid, nothing else is, bro. Look at, I grabbed a SPY put daily at the top here, and you have dropped 5 points on the SPY in 1 hour. That play is only up 20%. I closed it for 50% here. I still have one more of them. But do you get what I'm saying? So if you drop, pop, and then come down, you're going to get paid more on the first drop. Believe it or not. But you have to be in the money or near the money, okay? And that's just my opinion, but I say this to protect some of you guys. You may have to spend more, and then that way too, you got to really think about what you're going to buy. Or yeah, you could go futures, but I don't know if that's safe for some of you. But yeah, 100%. Just make sure you are aware of that, though. Unfortunately, I tried some, and I threw out these place markers, but that's why we did them, so that they could give us this info and the data. It's telling you right now, just you should be on notice that this isn't what you think it is. Yeah, bro, look at NVIDIA. That's NVIDIA right there. No. It's nothing else but NVIDIA. So look, Baba's coming down, now Tesla. That's what this part is. Value's going up. So look at the last 20 minutes, we had a little rotation, right? You started noticing values come up. What just happened? Now big tech is starting to dump. Now your behemoths, like I told you, Tesla, NVIDIA, we've seen them drop on other days more than 5%. You get what I'm saying? So now Netflix, or no, NVIDIA, I don't think Netflix is going. But watch if they do. Yeah, Netflix is pinned, but it might drop. But that is the other move now. So last like 30 minutes here, half of it is staples up, and now the other half is high flyers going down. Look at Meta. Look at the other ones. I kind of like the Tesla, but we might have missed that. Bro, HYG, this is a scam. So look, I told you guys this would be one of those hedge plays. Look at this fucking gap down. Those plays only went up 50%. I guess I'm just spoiled, but still. Back in the day, those used to go like 500% on any gap down. So if you bought a bond and then it gapped, oh, dude. So yeah, but that one might materialize later, but watch. If HYG breaks, but I don't know. You made it free, not a bad idea. I was expecting more because, again, we were early. We were kind of near the money, but, yeah, not so much. Hot dog. Amazon. MO's ripping. Again, J&J as well, too. Okay, SPY's just still dancing around, but dude, this is fucking up the premiums. So be careful with that. Thune, majority leader reaction is not unexpected. NVIDIA dying now. This is big tech. Again, watch value, see how that plays out. Those SPY plays is funny, bro. Now they're back to 40. I'm telling you, SPY plays from the top, 40% here, 20% here. Now they're back to 40. You have to be near the money, brother. 5427. Next level is 5407, 5408, or 5416, and then 5408, and then 5400, and then 53 something. Crazy. Abivi might go. That's a value name too. So again, you could buy values like they're up, but some of them already jumped though. Be careful. I already have value plays back up 50 to 40%. So you did miss some. MO out of the money didn't hit, and near the money did. NVIDIA dumping. SPY into a new low. All right, I should have held my straddle probably. Let me see those plays. Yeah, I would have doubled up, but it's terrible. Yeah, now they're going up. All right, maybe I should have. Yeah, gold probably was the play. And, I mean, values did good. I'm not against any of those, but I want more downside plays, but not a bad one. I want one with some movement. Coca-Cola 52-week high. Weren't they just down? All righty. I think that's the 5416. No, 25. 22. That's another one, but 5416 is going to be a fat level. I vividly remember this, and now with this line. So watch. Give it 10 more points. Either major flush and then we bounce, or if you can't hold 5416 and there's like no resistance, you might hit 5387 right away. Or again, 54 faster than we do anything. Okay, watch the chips. Bro, value's still just running on them. Yeah, and then now those Pepsis are up. You can make the Pepsis free, literally above 100%. I kind of want to, but I like value right now. Yeah, bro, money is going there. So watch out. You're bouncing a little bit. That sucks. That's not good. Because if you bounce before, I'm just telling you, that level is going to be big, right? 5418, 5416 is going to be huge. So it's already bouncing. That's not good. Because if we bounce up, I think we're still going to come down, and then you're going to hit it again. So let's see, but maybe it just never hits it, though. Today's hard, you guys, so be careful. Balance your preems. Oh, they're widening the spreads now. Right when I tell you about every time I mention Pepsi, my spread gets cut in half. So right when I tell you I'm up on it, it gets cut in half. I was just up 120, and I just said that, and then the bid drops to 20. It literally is Hall of Fame mode. It's not even that difficult in the sense that all that happened is the gap down. All I'm saying is that there's such a hangover in prices that it's really hard to get a play. Or it's, again, even my QQQ this morning, I took my break even. I would have made my money, but the way it was looking, the risk and the strike prices, like, why would you buy that for that much? It's just like, it's a trick. It's a lot of, like I said yesterday, it's going to be emotionally taxing. That's what we talked about on the damn watch list. Mexico airbarred 84% of automotive exports comply with USMCA. All right, so there it is. Multiple firings on Trump National Security Council after Loomer visit. All right, 54.20. This is a baby level. I remember this one. But 54.16 is really the level. 16 to 18. Bonds coming down. I know the bonds are being held down by a lot of things and by the data. That's why but then again, it doesn't make sense. We're just impatient, but today's data should have fucking ripped the bonds. But then again, the other day it was stagflationary and the bonds did the opposite too. So I think there's just a lot of pressure, but I do agree with that. Bonds are severely underpriced, but there's other things going on. That's why it's underpriced. So, but until we see a real clear data or growth slowdown or fear, even though you would think this is fear, the bonds don't have that fear yet. As odd as that may sound. All right, you might bounce a little. All right, now those HYGs are climbing. Dude, the premiums just need to figure out what they want out of life. I think that's kind of the problem. The premiums just don't know. Those old LYVs came back, but I don't know. AWK, water. Woo! This is one of my OG water stocks. Amen. See? Value. Core Weave, yeah, they're killing it, actually. I was just thinking about that. I was like, wait a minute. Did everyone forget about that? I feel like I have it. So down 10%. It went up a lot. Wonder Vision. Welcome, baby. All right, 5 minutes here at this low. This is a baby level. It was just a long time ago. But you should remember 54, 22, 21. So it's about 5 more points. I think that level will be very critical here. Literally, it's the bottom of what? This was like the post rally a month after the, what's it called? Who was it? The flash crash. The little yen carry trade. All right, coming up a little bit. J&J, that's taking off. Premiums ran earlier on J&J, but now they're slowing down. But that was a hitter. I'm just going off of past levels. It's a horizontal, open and close. That's it. I use the most basic support and resistance. It's not even funny. But we noticed how computerized it was a couple years ago, and I started drawing them out, and it worked very, very accurately. That's the irony. This level, this line right here, I drew this a couple years ago. I haven't. So that's why I'm saying after some point when we started reaching into like unknown highs, and we're just like, levels we've never ever seen before, we stopped drawing them. It was going 20, 50 points at a time. But I drew this years ago. And now that we're back there, that's a wicked, like, dude, it's almost 1,000 points if you think about it. You're like 700 points away from that line to the high. But yeah, it's super simple. Okay, J&J's at the high now. And then Pepsi. I like the Pepsi spot. Yeah. VIX on the high. So watch out. SPY hasn't hit a new low yet, but the VIX is going up. It did that earlier, but then you kept dumping. So again, maybe a bottom or maybe you're about to hit your level that we talked about. All right. And then I have to go to the bathroom. It's about to be 8 o'clock, 30 minutes till Euros close, baby. All right, new low. But yeah, I need to go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. Real Cult News on Twitter. And then I have bad news to announce. Yes, I have bad news, but maybe I should wait because the day is already getting crazy. Okay, well, look, you just wicked into... Don't tell me. I bet you we just hit the level and bounced. Oh, no, 20. Nope, you got a little bit more. Don't fall for it just yet. Canadian Prime Minister says he spoke to Chancellor Scholz of Germany, agreed to strengthen trade ties. But yeah, and then I'll be right back. But I do have a bad set of news though. But I don't have any propaganda. Oh, there it is.
This is Bloomberg Technology.
There it is.
Tariffs,
all right, love
they've
you.
come for big
ERB.
tech. The sector among the worst hit as higher duties target their Asian supply chain and investors brace for retaliation. Bloomberg spoke with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent yesterday, who says the tech sell-off is actually not a MAGA problem.
In my old business, I was very concerned about market movements, and I'm trying to be Secretary of Treasury, not a market commentator. What I would point out is that especially the NASDAQ peaked on Deep Seek Day. So that's a Mag 7 problem, not a MAGA problem.
But today, investors do think the tariffs are Mag 7's problem. Let's check in on those markets. We fall hard on the NASDAQ 100. Tech underperforms the other benchmarks. We're off by almost 5%. This is the worst day for the benchmark since 2022. We move on to those magnificent 7 players, which were all in the red. Even the software services sector being hit by anticipation of what the EU levies back in terms of digital services taxes. Alphabet lower, Meta off by 8%, Amazon off by 8.8%. We move on and have a look at what the hardware impact is. Nvidia, even though semiconductors are exempt from current tariffs, we anticipate further to come and retaliation. We're off by almost 7%. Tesla wipes out 7%, and Apple falls the hardest. We're off by almost 9%. We are having the biggest erosion of market cap for Apple ever. It's on pace for the biggest single-day wipeout in the company's history, more than $300 billion in one go. Apple's supply chain woes, we dig into them. Bloomberg's Dana Woolman is with us. Dana, why is Apple in the eye of the storm here? We thought they were diversifying out of China, but that has backfired at this moment.
Yes, diversifying out of China does not mean so much in this moment, especially given that the Trump administration has just taken aim at, if not every country in the world, seemingly every country in the world, and certainly levying very high tariffs on some of the very countries where Apple thought.
Amen. We talked about this on the watch list, baby. Ooh. All righty. All right, not bad. It's kind of chilling. It's kind of chilling, but we're not out of the storm. Remember, how many times have I told you we ain't out of the woods? My goodness. And then value's still kind of tweaking up here. But it's good. Like I'm saying, that's one little sign of rotation. But you got to see the other ones. Intel came back down. That hustled. Typical Intel. FLO on the high. What's this? Flow. Flowers food. What the hell? I don't know what percentage that was. That was about 3.5%. And then VIX on the high, bonds climbing up, you're going back down. Canada, Mexico, loving it. Where's the euro? Yeah, bro. All these curry. That's why the dollar's wrecked. And then oil, I'm surprised we haven't talked about oil, bro. That's down 7.8. Oh! Yo, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. But again, I think Donald Trump is happy. And Besant. You have bonds. Bonds need a little more, though. So in a weird way, if bonds don't get a bid, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out more aggressive. Because that's crazy. Shinebaugh says Mexico will seek to diversify export and reduce imports, pushing local production. And then Boeing to release first quarter results April 3rd. Mm-hmm. The likes? Oh, don't worry about the likes, man. Just get a membership. That's fine. That's it. I call it a day, baby. Call it a day. The likes don't do anything, but your membership will get you a lot, actually. So, amen. Amen. Shout out to Chad. Every clothing company, man. Anybody, but Nike is the big loser. I'm telling you. I really want to buy it, but like I said yesterday, it reminds me of Humana. Because I was just telling you yesterday, $52, it'll bottom out. I didn't think it was going to fucking go down another $5 the next day. Yo, VIX and SPY, another new low. So again, this is continuing, 54.20. Okay, now SPY plays are going up 70 now. So this time, that little low, the premiums held on the out of the monies. That's a little different than the first 2 or 3 little drops and pops. So you're going down. Again, I do still think near the money is the main winner. But yeah, those are starting to break out now. Nico, welcome. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Amen. Honko. Oh, yeah, so y'all heard me on that, huh? Nice. Well, welcome. Welcome. Everyone in your family's a Democrat and crying about Trump and the tariffs. I feel, but this is the thing. Sadly, would I overreact and be like, no. And you guys have watched me this whole time. But like I keep saying, the tariffs yesterday were big. I think that is objectively one of the biggest actions most of us have ever witnessed. So I do think the pre-freakout was unwarranted, and we don't even know where this fully develops. But yeah, this was a big event. Like I'm saying, how this stands up historically, this is huge. All right, man. Everything volatility, bro. The SPY's not moving. Chips are dumping, and everything else is kind of going crazy. Apple back down, Nvidia dead, and then yeah, you are still holding up. Oh, man. Appreciate Christopher! Faithfully for years, baby. Amen, man. I'm honored, and I'm even more honored by those who have been faithfully with me, baby. Thank you. Hey, Carter. Hey, Moses. Let's go, baby. I'm going to give you guys your shout-outs here in a little bit, but you are flushing now. You have hit my level. That's it. We either go straight to 5,400, little baby stop at 5,408, and then that's it, man. I don't know what to tell you. And then value's going crazy, though. So in a weird way, it's one of the worst days you've seen, but there's still some winners right now. And that is something you should focus on, but risk-off mentality is still in play 1,000%, bro. It's not. I don't think you're escaping this right now. But ironically enough, I need you guys to realize something. This isn't as much fear as you think it is. Like I'm telling you, the staples shouldn't be up. So like in the morning, you remember how they came back down? That was looking scarier here. But now that names are going green, bonds aren't getting a bid on bad data, you don't have people as scared. I know this sounds wild, but you have to think about that. That's why I'm telling you, I'm going to keep calling these out. We need real risk off, and staples will come down in real risk off. Or at the end of the day, it's just like wait for the bond fear to really show up, but that's not there. Gold is uncertainty, and that makes sense. No, I don't think it's a flight to safety as much as it's uncertainty. Why? Because gold even went down initially, and it's up more than anything. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, most people aren't like, let me go flight to safety on something that it's at an all-time high. You know, they're buying value names. They're buying staples, Dow that is underperformed. But gold is uncertainty, and it ties into policy, trade, and a lot of things. But you've seen it many times. We've made a lot of money off of it. You want the bonds to show fear. That will be when we're really going risk off. But like I'm saying, we still have a lot more to work our way down. This is just the Mag 7 leading so much. I mean, we could drop a lot more points, but like I'm telling you, the fear, when I see some of these names up 3% and the bonds only moving 1%, I'm like, yeah, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. We voted for this guy and then we'll blame Biden. Well, I don't think it's right to blame Biden. I think for some things it is. But like I'm saying, this was a big tariff rate. All that matters is we make money. That's the thing I like. Some people don't like Trump, but if you have been on this channel lately, I think one of the best advantages has been that the news has been given back to retail. And now at least we have a better opportunity to react to the market developments because of how the news flow and all of these news. So it may suck for a little bit, but we built portfolios under Biden and Trump, and that is ultimately going to be our goal. Let's get a bag, baby. Thank you, baby. Paying the puff for the UVXY. Well, God bless you, man. We're bouncing. Thank you to all the donos, bro. Y'all don't have to. Like I said, it sucks that we do members only now, but even then you could listen in, and I'm sure it made you some money. But when it's all said and done, just honored to be here, and y'all better get a fucking long term. Hard. Woo! All right, we're ripping a little bit. You hit my level. Like I'm saying now, we might test it again, but it could take a couple hours, or it just flushes now and we go to 5,400. But one of my criteria has been met for the day, and you are bouncing heavy off of that. So let's see. It's, again, your portfolio is telling you what to do. You're running now. No headline yet. Trump tariff will leave. No, hold on. Interesting. Okay, think about it. Bro, you just did that at the level I was telling you an hour ago. That's a very technical move, sadly. Again, there's no headlines or anything. This is a multi-year level, bro. And as weird as that may sound, this is a key one, so we're going to see. You're going to bounce up to it probably. Yeah, I don't think that's confirmed. I'm just saying I think a lot of money was there. It hit, and then we're going to kind of dance around. Oil's wrecked. Currencies are all doing good except the dollar. But I don't know if you consider that good or bad. That just depends on who you ask. Oh, shit. All right. So watch, though, too. Watch if Staples go down, and then watch Tesla and NVIDIA. Yeah, Staples are breaking out. And then bonds back down now. So see if this holds. What will happen on Friday? Non-farms, bro. That's going to be the crazy. Oh, UNH. I wanted one of those. Those are one of the only names green, like early in the morning. S&P Dow set for biggest one-day drops in September 2022. Again, last time we even moved of this size, you finished up because of this stupid cash bounce on the flash crash. So you're actually holding down pretty low. Lando, thank you, my friend. So honestly, maybe you guys shouldn't donate, actually. You know, because I even told y'all you should probably stop buying the stream alerts. But because I do have bad news for you. Yeah, VIX is running. I mean, Canadian dollar. I got one headline. I appreciate y'all. Way to free the Chad, bro. Freedom. And Newsmax. Oh. Okay, donating anyway. Happy belated. I can't believe it, bro. Your birthday, Tim, was an insane day. No circuit breakers, but you're close. But if we bounce away from here, that was fun. But, yeah, we'll see. I want to see if any of the call side plays start to move up. WTF, CRH, Philip Morris. Those IPOs are moving again. Yeah, I know the wire's up. There's a lot of volatility today. I didn't want to be too much of an asshole. You know, that's not really my goal. I just wanted to get y'all involved. You know, the goal isn't to be an asshole, but pay attention. And I hope you guys, throw a shout out my way every now and then and stop reselling my shit. Thanks, Don Lemon. Woo! And the suspense on the news is killing you? Oh, yeah. You'll see, bro. FM Live. Is it bad news for us? For some people. For some people, it's good news. It just all depends. Intel falling knife. Dude, I thought they were going to run earlier, bro. They had it. They were one of the only chip leaders. I thought there was going to be a news. Oh, and then Pepsi. Oh, but I said it, so now it's going to come down. Tesla. All right, man. That was a good bounce off the level, but it's going to be a long day, bro. 12 minutes till Euro close. So that'll be the other one, too. Europe closes. Oh, let's see what the bonds do after Euro close. Low key, now that I think about it. Volkswagen to announce major investment in Argentina. YPF is Argentinian. Imagine watching me hit 1,000% plays and donating him money. Why you hating, bro? That's crazy. I like it, but nothing's required. But why are you hating on him, bro? Now you have to pay money just to watch. That sucks. See you later. Be nice to people. That's coming from the not nice guy. Fed seen cutting interest rates 4 times this year, starting in June. That's crazy. So rate cut odds at June now? My goodness. No reverse repo issues. No, just rate cuts. End of week spy calls. I'm gonna just tell you right now, you got to get near the money, and buying any option now, call or put, is going to be difficult. I hope you guys understand. The premiums are so high that even if you buy a call, there might be embedded volatility in that price that you are overpaying still. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest shit, but if you have been through volatility, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's I got a real quick crash course on that on one of my plays this morning, but you got to be careful of that. So in a weird way, it would be good if you got a call and we bounced and there's a lot of room, but I would be very selective and intentional on where you think it's going to go and what you are going to buy. Otherwise, shares or futures might be better to play a bounce, but then you have to expose yourself in this massive volatility to whatever the loss would be. IV is a result, not a cause. It's not capitulation yet. No, if it was, I don't think there'd be as many names that are trading as high, you know? Success on the high. I have those LY. It sucks because I have puts, like random ones that came back, and I'm like, all right, I want to sell them, but I'm like, wait, I should probably hold a put. I got old LYVs that are coming back now, but the premiums are slow. So I'm saying some premiums you thought would be up, they're climbing slower. Like, look, HYG. Remember I was telling you guys these plays didn't move as much? Nothing happened. They're up another 25%. This is bullshit, bro. Right now, they're just working around premium. Lutnick says U.S. should use robotics rather than overseas labor. Where is he talking right now? What? He said use a robot. Stop complaining. Is this Wilbur Ross?
Are the big players there?
I think it is our boy again.
It's not such a capital-intensive activity.
Oh, Rich Tech Robotics, RR.
Machines around, so I think that's a sector that could be transferred out of China and Vietnam very, very quickly, and a lot of it's already been underway.
We'll see if that speeds up. Wilbur Ross, it was great to have you today. Thank you, as someone who's been in the room and had these discussions with the Trump administration 1.0, former Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross.
Thank
you.
We
appreciate it.
Up next, a closer look at the sell-off in tech today. Apple, of course.
I wanted to hear that. Yeah, Rich Tech Robotics. I was just moving up on that headline. So see, there's no options on that one. Got to go shares, my friend. Interesting. Is there any other, or isn't there like a ARC robotic one? This is just going to be a small cap play that literally is just reacting to that. Because that was a random ass headline. Yo, Fitch. Tariffs will result in higher consumer prices, lower corporates, some sovereigns' level of value is large, could face downward pressure on ratings. Robo is the ETF, isn't ARCQ? And then SPY still holding. What's the other one? Robo. Honestly, that Rich Tech is the only one that moved right now. Very interesting. But yeah, see. OSHR, is this another Robo one? Or no? How does this one stack up? Yeah, well, that's moving, though. Let's see. Banks are kind of chilling. China credit downgrade. Yeah, by Fitch. Lutnick, Europe, Australia. Oh, this is from earlier. He said that earlier. He didn't say the robotic thing, but yeah, the Europe beef thing was in the morning. Interesting. OSHR. All right. I made a play free from the morning. I like it. I want to hold them, but I'm glad, though. Even yesterday in this move, taking the profits helps so much, man. You're going to miss out on a couple, but it just adds up, baby. It adds up. Out for the day. Enjoy it, baby. I hope you did good and relax. Lutnick says China has high tariffs but no inflation. So Lutnick's talking somewhere. It sounds like the comments he said in the morning. So we'll see. And then look at bonds coming down. I think that's fascinating as well. All right, then let's see. Symbiotic calls going. Let's see that out of the money SPY play. Remember, I only have one of them. I made it free. That plays down 30% now. So if you bought an out of the money SPY put here, you are down 30%. Here you were up 40. Here you were down 20, and then even on this one, you were down 20 or you were only up 40 here at the new low, and then now they're dead. So they could come back if you drop, but this goes to show exactly what I'm talking about. Lutnick live on CNN. How do you fucking access CNN? I don't have CNN. All I have is Don Lemon watching me. I don't know if that counts. Can you hook me up? TikTok deal to come before deadline. That'll be good. I think a TikTok deal would insinuate a better deal with China down the line. My daily preview will expire. I don't see anything. All right, man, you're back to the first low. What was this, 1030? Oh, this was something. Oh, no, that was just our first little random pop. Again, we bounced off the level 2. Bonds to the low, energy names, Tesla's trying to move. Again, watch if big tech could actually move its way up. It would be good to sell premium right now. Yeah, just tighten up the range just in case you get some headline negotiation blowout. But beyond that, yeah, you'll be good. Yeah, Duke Energy. This is one. It just popped up like 25, 30 cents. That's so funny, bro. Like I was telling you, those HYGs, they even moved the premium. All right, so it's holding there. It's doing this. This doesn't look good, bro. This doesn't look good at all because you're just doing this move. We've had days like this. It's gonna be confusing, but good part is premiums are lower now. So that's kind of the idea of what I'm telling you is that these little moves now every single set is going to make one portion of premiums more accessible. But then again, the ones near the money are still jacked. Is there 1 minute? Or no, right now. It's Euro close. So get ready. You ran up into Euro close. Bond's still up, but near their low intraday. And now Europe is closed. Remember, their currencies, they're the ones who have done good today. While at the same time getting the damage from trade. Most of them said they're going to wait on retaliation. So we'll see. This could be big. I always feel like somebody watching me. Oh, dear. I'm surprised they're not down more. What the fuck? Yeah, deer kind of gap, but no, they're suspiciously not moving. Why is deer so stable? Is it because they sold off earlier? No. Yeah, you would think they would get impacted way more because they would be a target for China. I always feel... Oh, wow. Those are expensive. Yeah, deer's insane. AI robotics. What was that other one? RR? Rich Tech. Oh, that popped. A little bit more. Still slow as fuck, but still. UVXY. Everything's getting slashed that's not in the money. So every one of these little moves are just to rob anybody out of the money. Do you understand? Because that's all that keeps happening. Because then you get this, it pops up, and then you come back down. Anything far out the money with little time is going to lose value. And then you just keep doing that. But anything near the money is moving dollar for dollar with the market. Lutnick, no chance Trump will back off tariffs. All right. And then Myrna's on the high. Somebody watching me. Okay, follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Code News on Twitter. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Capital today before the soldiers were flown to the U.S. for burial. And Bruce Springsteen announced today he plans to release 7 new studio albums at the end of June.
Daniel Garcia!
The Lost albums will include 83 songs that were written and re-recorded.
Different Daniel Garcia. I was like, no way Daniel bought a membership.
74 of them have
This guy
never
been saying he will
heard
never
before,
buy a
and the
membership.
boss
I love
says
Daniel,
he
but I
started
know he's
completing
saved.
everything he had in
No, that's
his
a different
vault
Daniel
during the
Garcia. It's a
pandemic,
common
guys.
name.
I'll send it back to you.
There's more than one Daniel Garcias in this world.
A couple hours into trading. Let's get to Bob Bassani here as we continue to wrestle just off of the session lows, Bob.
Just off, just barely off the session lows, Carl. And as I said before, the cyclical sector is getting hit hardest here, and those are tech stocks, industrial stocks, mid-level tech names like Snowflake. A lot of names down about 10%. So Unity, Twilio, Shopify, all those names down in this particular range. Industrials as well, a lot of 10, 11, 12% down. Stanley Black & Decker in the industrial space, Masco, Ingersoll Rand, airlines too. Same situation here. They're industrials technically, but we call them transports. A lot of stuff down 10% or so in that area. The banks big cap banks are really hit hard. You're going to go a long time, many, many years before you see Bank of America down 10%. And look at that volume. That's very heavy volume here. So a lot of people, this is a heavy volume day on a big down day. That's technically extremely significant overall. And then there's the private credit guys and the private equity guys, the Apollos of the world. Same situation. And this says, the potential for credit to be under some pressure or concerns about it overall that you see. And not just them, but look, here's KKR. Same space, essentially. Private equity, private credit that's out there down double digits as well. Not a lot of sunshine here. It's basically classic defensive stuff. You see some healthcare and some consumer staples. So here's Merck up a bit. Johnson & Johnson is up a bit. Procter & Gamble. As you see up about
I'm always listening. There he is.
The other classic
Wait, did you get gifted a membership?
Also on the upside.
I know you on the
sector that's getting that's getting inflows too is
Euro close. We're moving up a little. Let's see if it lasts. President Trump will negotiate if other countries fix their tariff and non-tariff barriers. Canada Carney shared plan to fight tariffs on Canada with German Chancellor Scholz. So now we're hearing a little bit Canada and them. You just bought it? Oh, no way. Dude. Yo. Well, I'm glad to see you here. But I know your strict savings plan, and I admire it, Mr. Garcia. That's why I was like, so no worries. But I was like, wait, that's Daniel Garcia. I'm like, wait, it's not Daniel Garcia. Daniel's like, nah, I'm not going to let Daniel Garcia show up Daniel Garcia. So now we got both Daniel Garcias. It's a win-win if you ask me. It's a win-win if you ask me. You want the bad news? I'll tell you the bad news. I like you, B-Fire, so I'll tell you all the bad news, okay? Hold on. Nike, huge pop. If it's not huge. It just bounced a little bit, but remember, it did this the other day. Canada will impose 25% tariffs on all vehicles imported from the U.S. that are not compliant with USMCA. That's already in place. That's not any, you feel me? What up, baby? Good day to be a Garcia. That's not that bad. Again, that's the normal deal as of now. So any car that's not U.S., Canada, Mexico, 25%. So it's funny because he's tied to German, but he's saying it was Scholz. Canada will develop framework for auto producers to avoid counter tariffs as long as they maintain production and investment in Canada. Will not affect auto parts and will not affect vehicle content from Mexico. That's bullish. So again, both him and Trump are leaving out. They're punting on the vehicle parts because that's the other 30-40% of the margin. Oh my gosh, another Dan Garcia. What? Tariffs and Daniels. What's happening? Lutnick, we don't have a plan about the dollar. Carney says every single dollar raised about $8 billion before remission from tariffs will go directly to our auto workers and the companies affected by tariffs. So again, first response by Canada and Mexico have been light. So that's not bad. You're moving up there. I wouldn't blame the headline as much as kind of euro close and we're bouncing off the level. So think about that. I always feel like. All right, let me wait. I was going to tell you the bad news and then headlines came in. We're gonna do it. I don't like that. I worship God every day, you guys, and I love it. But I never use my God to tell you to do financial shit. You know what I'm saying? I think God wants you to be diligent and prepared and disciplined. And what good is all of it if you can't love your neighbor as you love yourself? So I know people, I hope your church got you to buy gold, but I'm not gonna do that to y'all. Amen. Amen. You might dono the last 6. Well, don't do that. Again, I've been trying to tell y'all, even with the stream alerts, don't buy it if you can't afford it to, and all of that. Canada, Carney, Trump will reverberate across Canada and around the world. Yeah, so literally it's on the wire in front of you. Government stands with solidarity with Stellantis. Existing Trump tariffs pose significant risk and threats to economy. Yeah, Nike keeps moving. Stellantis is mollywopped. All right. Okay, you're working up. This is great, bro. If we could get above here, this is where I want. You want right below the opening candle. But long story short, man, I was even telling you we're going to make changes to the stream alerts. We've had good experiences, bad experiences. I got people harassing me on stuff for no reason with it all. And like I said, I don't want to throw too many changes at you. But long story short, I have greatly raised the price of stream alerts from here on out. That way, I don't want to deal with too many people. Like I said, it's not for everybody. But now it's raised so much that those of you who are really committed to the community and been a part, if you want it, I will start offering discounts now. I've never done that, and we haven't raised it in a while. So, yeah, that's going to be the first one. Oh, worst time for the ad? Almost ready for Canada. But in the meantime, that's it. So all the people who want to be weird with it all and not listening to it, it's going to cost you a lot more now. And then I'll give discounts out. And then best of all, as always, if you have already supported this channel and you are locked in, you will not get you don't get a price raise at all. So yeah, you're locked in. No. But if you cancel, buy back, and are using it weird, and then you know how I am, like literally, I got people who've followed 5 years, sign up, complain, do this weird shit. I'm not dealing with that, bro. So you got OG pricing forever. You're locked in. Nothing to worry about. But, yeah. And then anything else, if you want the original price, you got to earn it, and I'll give you a discount. And then there is no such thing as free long-term alerts anymore. I have temporarily closed it again because you guys keep asking me when to buy shit. So I gave you methods to follow along, and I still get asked. So now you just have to wait till I tell you now. You could buy the free long-term alerts if you don't want to wait, but the free part is now closed temporarily. Ta-da! So, yeah. And thank you. This is like I'm saying, man, I've tariffed a lot, but this is only really, if you're already involved in the community, you already had stream alerts, you already have a long-term, you already watched the watch list, this doesn't really affect you. Let's be real. So this is only for the people that are adding to the questions and hitting up my email and doing all this. But yeah, this doesn't affect anybody that is locked in. That's what I've realized. That's why I'm like, so You guys are actually getting hooked up now because I hope less people, you'll get more value from it. And again, you have the original price that is much, much lower. So thank you. Well, yeah, that's your bad news of the day. But you got some good plays for now. I'll show you what. Dude, those HYGs are climbing. That's so dumb. The HYGs are going higher as the stock goes up. Couldn't discount. Well, that's the thing, though. Like I'm saying, now that it's raised, for some of you, or if you have an issue and you are OG and you cancel on accident, whatever, I'll give you a discount. We'll work it out. That's what I'm saying. Now the price is so high, I will discount for all the people that are real. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So it'll work out for everybody. But now for the randoms and the people who want to harass me, you got to pay double. About a short here? With you're talking like futures or shares, right? Because I don't like the premiums. That's it. So I'm down with that, but you just got to be careful for the range. Offer accepted on first rental. Buying cash. Okay, big baller. Let's go. How can you earn the discount? I'll let you know. I will let you know. I even plan one to be a quiz of the watch list. So yeah, that's all. If you lock in, I got you, baby. If you're not locked in, you got to pay a higher fee, and that's kind of the whole point. So you either watch the stream and lock in, or you can pay the fee. Ta-da! But yeah, econ quizzes. We could do a lot, baby. We could do a lot. Yeah, big baller, bro. He's about a rental all cash. So let's get it, baby. Lock in. One-time payment is still in the works, yes. That's why I did this today, because like I told you, I wanted to do that down the line. I didn't want to put too much on, like too many changes. But like I was doing my email and some of these already, how people are reacting, I'm like, no, man, I'm not dealing with this. We're doing great. I like to focus, and I'm going to we're making a lot doing what we're doing. So all the other shit is just kind of weird. So lock in. Verdance goes live in 15 minutes. Okay, that's good. Like I was saying, all of these we ran up so far on every comment. So like Shine Bomb Canada, but then it just fades after because everybody likes to listen to it. And then once they hear that it's not that bad, they kind of chill out. Car need to impose 25. That you already got. Reiteration. My VWAP is different. It's just the E-Trade one. I know a lot of people they've asked me about that. Are you kidding me? Bruh, now they work? That's so dumb. Those Phil. All right, I made the HYG free. That's stupid. Bro, the premiums here, they were up 20%. Right here, they're up 110% right now. So this is what I'm saying, bro. Premiums are wonky today because of how high the volatility is. Verdance dropped earlier. I'll have to double check. As I know we heard Vonderlane, Scheinbaum, Carney, and then a little bit of Scholes with that. The most important thing to do in beginning the long term, setting a budget and staying with it. That's what I can't stress enough. Even times like today, and then CVS running, but it's just all like, even in big volatility, and no matter what you buy today, it's not going to matter if you actually are going to stick with it for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 years. Because it's all about slow, steady, consistent, and quality. Along the way, make sure you get at least one good anchor and you'll be good to go. Carney says previously announced tariffs will remain in effect. Yeah. Ghost. Yulia, baby. Good morning. I hope y'all feeling good. Dude, those Pepsis are wicked. Those keep coming down. LT up. I mean, probably because of your boy MO. Because, again, that's a 3-4%er. It did give some up the other day. I haven't looked at the long term. These are the days I don't look. But now I'm looking. Ooh, it's bad. See, we have a little bit of growth. I'm down today on the long term. 2.5%. So, half, we don't lose as much, but still down. And still up on the year. Yeah, but Emo's loving it. Yeah, but Airbnb, Meta, JPM, those, and then Nike. Carney says we would react energetically to any new U.S. tariffs. It's a good choice of words. Energetically. TOT on the low. This part is the craziest one out of all of them, bro. Officially hooked to the gym? Bro, good shit. You were just telling me a couple weeks ago, man. I love it. So I'm talking about. Your future you thanks you. See, but like, now do you guys want to talk about making an ETF account? Yeah, so the lower this goes, we should start our ETF account eventually. But yeah, that's why we've waited. All right, you're starting to slip a little bit. Watch premiums again. These little pops in chill, this is burning both sides. So these are where you're going to get your opportunity. You just got to eat the ETF fees. Well, yeah, I mean, again, everybody always wanted me to make a long term and buy SPY. I said, once the index isn't like insane, I'm down. But then it just kept ripping, and I did not feel comfortable. All right, bro, you're coming back down. I'm looking at premiums. Time to shop. They killed it, but it's still like the same price as the morning. Yeah, you're buying every premium 2,000% up. No, I think bonds are waiting for retaliation and whether or not this stays. I think the bonds have my view, as weird as that may sound, where I think the bonds are like, okay, this is bad, but it's only bad if it stays here, if that makes any sense. Like I'm saying, it's a bomb. The numbers today from the tariffs is insanity. So if it stays, then yeah, this should like run. Then we'll get really fear. Then I think the bonds will react. But if it starts off heavy and then over the next days and weeks you get more info and then it just chills, then I think the bonds aren't overreacting yet. That's the only theory I could think of right now. Otherwise, we're just trying to react way too early. And we're not seeing it because we're looking too short. Oscar! After a couple years, I'm finally joining. Well, welcome, baby. You know Oscars are legends in here, right? I don't know if you know, but you're part of a bigger group. Feel welcome. Good, man. You got long term? That's the other part. Denmark's foreign minister. It's time for NATO to pay more awareness to the situation in the Arctic. And then Irish financial minister, tariff impact more likely to hit consumption taxes first. Payroll medium. Corporate depends on global. Diz. What up, baby? Good morning. CGen on the high. I feel like we've seen that the other days. New all-time highs seem far away. I don't know. Now it kind of does, but they were talking about it on CNBC yesterday. They were preparing the dump. But I do agree with it. It's like, dude, you're like 5 to 10% max off the highs. I just think we're so used to not going down that everything seems like a journey. But I'm going to tell you right now, actually, I have to rant. What am I saying? Oh, I have to rant, you guys. I forgot. Are you okay? Can you tolerate a Josh rant right now? It has to do with the long term. It has to do with the long term. I forgot. Because I already saw it, bro. Yeah, okay, here's the deal. Like I'm saying, this isn't that much, and I agree with that. Doesn't mean it can't get worse or not. Oh, but I already noticed something this morning. Y'all don't feel me. This is where mother effing long terms come to die. Do you understand? I already saw it this morning and I chuckled. Because right away there was already people. And they're like, man, nah, this is painful. And then I already saw the little comments that lead into it starts as like a weird pity towards the long term. It starts as like weird little jokes. And then one more leg down, they're going to be like, oh, and then, because this is what happens, bro. I just remember the time, the lower it goes, I'm going to quote one of the Chads that sold their long term a couple years ago. They're going to start saying, now it'll take a year to get my gains back. Now it'll take 6 months to get to break even. 2 years. And then, but yeah, so this is the marketplace. This is what happens. This is the environment. I'm telling you, right? I saw it right away in the morning. I was shocked. Because that's why I laughed a little, because I was like, all right, they're outperforming. They're better prepared this time. But no, I already witnessed it. I could already see some people are moving towards the exit, or their mentality is they're getting ready to exit. They're not. And then, like I'm saying, we're only like 5-10% down from the highs, but if you spend a couple months and then it goes a little lower and then now it goes up, man. It's crazy. So yeah, you got to watch out. How have my long-term gains been cut? I'm still up on the year. So I think now we're only like up 3 to 5%. We were just up about 10 to 12 last week or 2 weeks ago. But a lot of people don't realize my account, the big one and the small one, it started at 210,000 this year. So even after the decline, I'm at 236. after losing 2.5%. So that means your small account was 21,000 at January 1st. It's still chilling at like 25, 26,000. That's the whole point. We're killing it. That's why I'm saying, unfortunately, there was some bad things, and I feel bad for the people that didn't have what we have, but I mean, our long term is very, very good. You could still sell the long term for a crib. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember telling y'all, start shopping now, because if it comes down, you're going to say that. And then you're like, I could have bought a house. I could have done this. So that's why I said, instead of like trying to time the top and become a genius, just go buy a house. And that's what you should start doing. You don't remember? Beginning of the year, long term keeps climbing. And I'm like, hey, guys, I'm just telling you realistically, anytime my long terms do that, I start looking for houses. Expected damage should eventually persuade White House to change. That's not a good comment, but the market's reacting because that just implies they want to play tit for tat and then stretch it out. But we'll see. You're like a friend that tells you the truth and you don't even know me. That's all term. Well, hey, man, you're a wise man, okay? Because in the same respect, not knowing people and telling them stuff has backfired a lot for me. Like I said, I've tried to, I got reported for telling people to sell AMC at $35. Yesterday, the Solana, like some of you guys, I feel bad because you are getting tricked into putting your life savings into projects that will not make you money guaranteed like the long term. And again, you're more likely to get mad at me for not agreeing with you. So if you could vibe with what I'm telling you, I think that's more of you than me in a good way. So God bless you, bro, because that's what I did in my life. I realized I didn't have time to learn all the mistakes myself. I just learned from people that I could rely upon and be like, this is generally virtuous advice. I could follow that. And it saved me some time too. So amen to you, bro. I think the tailwind is risk off. Again, uncertainty. That's the driver. Uncertainty has led to risk off. Eventually, it's going to rotate, but there is that uncertainty for now is still at the boiling point. Nah, bro, it's not even fart coin. It's more nefarious. That's what I'm saying. It's like deep down, I think it's really evil. And that's why I have sympathy. But sadly, my sympathy has been met with violence by the people I'm trying to help. And what I mean by that is just simple. Like, this isn't even like fart coin. It's not even buying like Bitcoin or DeFi. It's like straight up someone inventing a Solana coin and then tricking people that this is going to be the next big thing. And then literally there's people in their like 18 to like 35 and they're like, yeah, no, that's it. I'm going to do it. And they're interacting with people and they're getting convinced to pour literally more money than their long-term 401k, not even a house, anything. And then they're putting it in to these random ass projects. And that's where I'm saying, I'm like, dude, if you really believe in it, great, go put 10% down. But don't put you don't want to make that mistake. It's like, I would rather you gamble on a SPY put on historical volatility than giving some jackass money on an invented coin that they could rug pull whenever they want. Does that make sense? Because one of them offers you upside, whereas the other one I think is a trick. And that's what I mean by, that's where I'm saying I don't want you to gamble on a SPY put. The long term I could get you a house. You see what I'm saying? You give me 3-4 years, $300 a month, I will have you a down payment. That is what our plan is doing. That's what we set out to do, and it's working. But I'd rather you have real upside. But hey, like I'm saying, this is genuinely how I feel. I don't benefit nor lose off of telling you this. If anything, more people just get mad at me. So I hope you hear the words of wisdom, but it is on you to make this decision, and it will be your lesson to learn. But yeah, that's the part where right now, some people are worried recession and not in the economy. But the other big problem is that there's going to be people that just get caught up in the scams and aren't even on the real opportunity, the real track of where the economy is headed or not. Because that's what I'm saying. That's the big opportunity right now. Deflation, inflation, those create opportunities. But if you just get scammed, that's not it. Yeah, just remember the rules, bro. That's it. That's what I said yesterday. If you go read Richest Man in Babylon, you know exactly what I'm saying. I'm not even saying anything crazy. So whatever you believe, just apply it to the laws of wealth, and you should find what to do. How blessed you are in crypto. You are, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Crypto is like the casino. Have you ever walked into the Wynn? Beautiful place. Beautiful building, everything. Free drinks. So pretty. Flowers, arrangements. Take a picture. Most opulent thing you've ever seen. Guess what? It's not built on winners. So you are lucky. Again, I've made a fortune off Bitcoin. For every one of me, there's a million losers. Sadly. And so you are blessed if you got it, but that's why I'm saying for the ones who see it and they're like, I want that. Wow, I want that. And they're walking into the casino, but now they're not playing the same game. That's the sad part. So that's what I'm saying. I want you to stay alive because one day you'll be able to buy the good quality one for dirt cheap after everybody cycles through. I think restoration was everything. Bad earnings, bad tariff, just that's it. They couldn't escape. Oh, those are the ones from yesterday. Okay, man, you're working your way up still. So this is calming down. Like I'm saying, at least this makes sense now. Because intraday is nothing, you guys. I hope you get what I'm saying. You haven't moved a lot here. It was all the gap down. Would you not touch anything or maybe start averaging? ETFs, I'd kind of wait a little, but like I'm telling you, if you want to know what I'm going to do, you just have to wait. I'll let you know like I always do when it comes to the long term. But I'm not trying to be cryptic. You guys understand? I'm genuinely not trying to withhold info from you. I swear to you. I'm trying to let y'all know the answer is in your portfolio. You have to look at your cash balance, and that is telling you exactly what to do right now. Like I'm saying, if you have more than 20% cash, you shouldn't be as sanguine as I am and chilling. You shouldn't be. You have too much cash. There's actually now 20, 30, 40 names that have hit new lows that we haven't seen. You see what I'm saying? If you have 20, you could be a little bit more timid. Anything below 20, if it's a really good deal and you're like, yeah, no, I'm fully convicted, it's going to be here 10 years, it's a high-quality name, take it. But other than that, if you don't have that feeling right now and you have low cash, I would be waiting. That's what I'm doing. Again, my answer, my actions are dependent upon my cash. I am living what I am telling you. And then, like I said, give me a real major discount. I'll take it. Nike, I was saying yesterday, like $52, 53. So we're almost there. But now everything is coming down too. So there's a lot of names I like. But the whole point is, I have a lot of emotions and ideas. Awesome. How can I control them? By listening to my account. Because I want Nike right now, bro. I wanted it yesterday. I wanted NVO a week ago. But if I reacted, I would have lost. If I listen to my cash, I win. Simple as that. I need an extreme discount. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything extreme by holding cash. And you have to understand, what did I tell you guys earlier? You heard it on TV yesterday. If you're holding a majority of cash, you are literally saying that you know the future. That's a very confident position, right? So this is what I'm telling you. I'm building cash. Do I know the future? So I'm telling you cash, 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 cash. You've been watching me for the last 3 months do that. Am I implying that I know the future? Think about it. Take a second. Yeah. I'm not. You know why? Because I'm underweight on cash. Nope. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not guessing anything. I'm just looking at the numbers. My account is speaking to me. My account's like, listen, big homie, even if you save every deposit this whole entire year, you will still be under the threshold of the max. That's crazy. I'm catching up with my cash. I'm not trying to predict. I just don't have a lot of cash. That's why every deposit, every move, it's not like I'm making a bad decision, because if I'm wrong on this, I didn't go heavy in one direction. If anything, my equities will lift me up, and then that's it. So the threshold is 20%, as we've said years and years now at this point. That's why I'm like, okay, well, we bought a lot already. We prepared in advance, but I don't have a lot of cash. So that's why I like a lot of names until I get a real crazy, again, diamond discount. I'm just like, damn, unfortunately, I want these names, but it would actually be less prudent if I spent my cash now, because then I would still have less cash. You mean to tell me volatility, history, all of this, and you have no cash? What? See, so like that's what I'm saying. By me stacking cash, I'm not really foregoing an opportunity. But if I hold too much cash, you are. If I hold too little, you are. But at this point, until I get over like 10 to 20% cash, I mean, I'm all in a nice little, my own little bubble of kind of safety there. Because it's not a bad, it's not good. The only way is if I go to the extreme. Too little cash, too much cash. That's where you're going to get burned. So that's why I'm saying, man, if you have an idea, you want to do something right now, that's how I would be thinking about it. Because this is volatility. It's real volatility. And there has been some real discounts. Some stuff not as much. And I'm sure we're going to keep swinging back and forth. The answer to your question is right in front of you in your portfolio. What have you already done? Right? So you are asking me, Josh, should I plant? Should I go plant turnips? Should I go plant cabbage? Should I go plant wheat? And I'm like, what the fuck do you already have in your garden? Do you understand? That's a wild question to answer without knowing the rest of your soil and what you have planted. That's ridiculous, actually. You see what I'm saying? And then why would you want to plant more wheat when all you planted was wheat? You see what I'm saying? And you're like, yo, Josh, should I go plant more wheat? And I'm like, you have a whole portfolio of dead wheat. Why do you want to do that? Do you see what I'm saying? You might need a seed. But yeah, you might need to plant other stuff, rotate crops. Like, that's what I'm saying of this whole answer. It's in front of you. but we can't look at him. Don't look at these things individually at this point. If you have a built-out portfolio, you can't just look at it as one. No, you now have to look at the whole garden. You have to look at what you have. Yeah, maybe you should water existing crops instead of planting. You don't need a new name. Just go average down. Again, if all you did was plant and you have no seeds, we shouldn't be talking about planting. You should be talking about building up and getting everything managed. So I hope that makes sense, because I get this question a lot, and now I'll tell you, you'll know when I buy. You'll know, but I'm going off of what my portfolio has, and it's telling me to build cash, and even if I'm wrong, I'm not really wrong, because if I wait and I don't buy anything and I build up my cash and the market rips, we are not going to get left behind. I'm just going to have an appropriate level of cash now, and then I'm sure I'll be able to find a lagger. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. Carney, U.S. is absolutely our ally on security and defense. Well, that's good. That doesn't sound bad at all. Again, you're above the level now. This is looking decent. So what's going to happen, we're either going to squeeze or literally randomly on one headline is just going to give it back up and we retest the low. Point is, we're going to have a lot of fucking volatility. But for now, this is at least good. And like I'm saying, intraday, way smaller than any gap or crap or anything, really. Apple at opening. Yo, Netflix is up. Honestly, it's not bad. You just need the cost to climb. But they just ripped everybody's premium right now. Oh, the tornado? You were there, bro? Dude, I saw that. That was crazy. I hope you're okay, man. Everybody else, too. Stay safe. I saw that, bro. I think some of my houses even in... I think one of my houses got put on warning near Indiana. I was like, what? Still don't know what Europe will do. Yeah. I mean, I think Apple and Boeing will be targets no matter what. I don't think you could avoid that. But again, the weird part's going to be timing. You see what I'm saying? It's how long does this take, the developments, the response. Like, it seems like some people are going to try to drag it out and play a game of chicken. Some people, like Denmark, Australia, right away, they're not doing it. So, yeah, we have a lot of, there's going to be both immediate and non-immediate reactions, and that's going to be the challenging part. You have 33 in equity, 66 cash. Am I still too cash heavy? Well, again, I want to help you guys learn this as soon as possible. Stop having problems with the things you understand. You know? When I'm telling you there's a rule, when I'm telling you there is a law, all you have to do is follow it. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, stop putting your guys' self through mental gymnastics and fucking your shit up. No, it's nobody needing my approval. This is some modern Western shit that people do. And like I'm saying, nowadays it's just funny. Like, people, I've spent over the years here, I've noticed, like, there's the difference between the people who will actually pick up on it and learn versus the people who just want to talk, or they just want to find a way to prove something wrong. And that's where they wind up into problems. And it's just very simple. The rule is 20% cash. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying everything you're talking about is extra. You know the rule. Why can't you understand it? You're choosing to circumvent it. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. I give you the rule, You either find out how to invalidate it or break it. So good for you. You should get into politics. But other than that, when it comes to money, we have to follow it. 20% cash is the max. That is the rule. No matter who you are, what you look like, where you're from, I like you, I don't like you, it doesn't matter. And I hope you guys could respect that, because I'm giving you the same output every time. Whether you like me or not, whether you've been mean to me or not, whether you're a member or not, it's the same answer. 20% cash, anything higher is past the limit. That's it. So if you say I have 25% cash, am I still above? Yes. Am I 40? Am I still above? Yes. It's very simple, very objective. This one's not changing. So that's why, if you want the answer, I will always give you this answer too. And this is what you got to realize, because right now your emotions and is telling you, well, yeah, look at the market. Law enforcement responding to suspicious package near the White House. Oh, remind me of that. I have tinfoil. But think about it. You see the market, either the market's really high or it's coming down low. Everybody's always like, yeah, cash. I'll be able to buy a lot more if it goes down, right? No. Because here's the point. If you have 20% cash, think about what's going to happen. 20% cash, if the market goes down 50%, what is it going to get you? It's not emotional. You had a good year. I feel like there's more to it. No, it's not. There's not. If you had a good year, you would keep. Let me ask you this. What does an object in motion do? It stays in motion. Yes? I think Einstein or somebody would agree with me. So if you had a good year, why are you telling me you want to stop? It makes no sense. I'm just saying, I'm playing G.K. Chesterton with you. I'm just saying none of it makes sense. Trying to break the rule and then you're saying, oh, well, it's for this reason. No. Because like I'm saying, go put it into a house then. Go find another investment. Keep advancing, but don't just sit there and wait out of, oh, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. But like I'm saying, every one of these conversations, you guys, there's a rule. You are either going to be asking me how to break it or you're following it. How to break it, it's same. I'm giving you the same reaction every time. I promise you, this world in postmodernism has told you that there's always a context and reason. I promise you there's not. In this case, when it comes to money, money doesn't give a fuck. It's very simple. That's why they call this a discipline. It really is. Because it's just 20% cash is too much. That's it. So you got your value. Again, 3 to 7% yield. That's never going to change. All of these things are very reliable rules that have built many more millionaires than just me. This is the way of wealth. These are the laws of wealth. Again, save 10%. Do not entrust money to something that is not involved in money or deals with money on a daily basis. Do not force your money to impossible earnings. These are the laws of wealth. My brother, believe me, in my years, you guys don't think I try to find a way around them? I capitulated. I gave in because I realized, no, it's the law. That's it. It's gravity. You see what I'm saying? I gave up trying to fight gravity. That's why I have all of my thoughts. I know the market is rigged and all of it, and that's why I have a long term. I'm not fighting gravity. You shouldn't either. There is simple rules to this game. There's other stuff. Get creative. Ask questions. Find the ways around. Get creative. But the basic rules of management, I would not try to violate those. Does it apply to small account? Y'all ain't. See, it's good though. Like I said, don't understand. I'm not mad at any of you. But I do, if I did punch y'all in the fucking face, you would learn this a lot quicker. You see what I'm saying? So make no mistake. I'm not bothered. I made a fuck ton of money today, and all I've done is make a fuck ton of money this year. So don't believe the lie that I'm angry, because I'm really not. I really want to help you. I've been blessed. I feel like I have a burden to help now because of how blessed I have been. But you guys, again, the rule is the rule. I don't care if it's small, big. That's it. You guys know I'm not racist. Did you know that? Now I'm starting to think all of you guys are racist. You know why? Because y'all racist when it comes to this rule. Yes or no? Yeah, I rest my case. That's it. I believe all humans are valuable. I respect them. I don't judge people based on what they look like, where they're from, or anything. I genuinely don't. And I believe in that rule my whole life. You see what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. So same thing with the cash stuff. Because that's why I'm saying we're like, well, what if this person, what if this account did? I'm like, oh my God, no, bro. It's a law. That's it. Humans are valuable. Everybody's the same. You're a child of the Lord. That's it. Cash, 20%. I don't care what imaginary or real scenario you give me. Once the 20% cash is there, the rule has been broken. You follow? It's literally, I learned this the hard way for having a BMW back in the day. You guys know that little gauge in your car that tells you the temperature of the engine? Once that starts moving, you're fucked. Okay? It's kind of like a law, but not as strict. But that's what I'm saying. You guys are giving me these scenarios, and the temperature gauge, once it goes above 20% cash, your car is overheated, bro. That's it. You just overheated. I don't care what the weather's like. I don't care if it's snowing outside, if you're in the middle of the desert. It doesn't matter. That temperature gauge is now, you've hit the overheat point. That's it. You boil water, it hits a certain degree, it boils. Right? And same goes for your cash at 20%. Again, you may want to flirt with a little bit more than 20%. Great. But once you're above 20%, that's it. You have too much. And that's the rule. That's what it tells you. And the beauty of the rule is that it doesn't change. That's how you know it's reliable and helpful. Because then it doesn't give you this confusion. A good rule should not confuse you. Wouldn't you say? And that's why I love this rule amongst all the other long-term rules. Because it doesn't give you confusion. You could bring confusion, but if you rely on the rule, it will give you the answer. That's why I'm saying I wanted to buy this, I wanted to do that, but when I look at my portfolio, it's saying, look, you can't do that. Look at what you have right now. And then it helps you. It clears things up for you. In an uncertain world, a certain rule or principle will help you. Yo, Qualcomm, is that $1 flush? 50 cents. Yo, Qualcomm, it's not loading. Why did that just break? All right, and The Spy. Netflix went positive. No, bro, this is a fucking murder fest. Capital One. Yo, COF, big pop. Oh, man. Did I get that? Yeah. Bro, what is that? It's huge. All right, I got some. I made that shit free, baby. You fuck. Who's buying these? Wow! Oh, I just fucked that one up. DG on the high, too. Oh, fuck. Oh, I just snaked it, made it free, and then just got 700% on the easy one. Oh, fuck yeah. I got 25 left. Woo! Dude. Oh, that was wicked. Thank you. All right. Yeah, DFS halted. Oh, disgusting. Where do you learn? You learn what I just did through the videos on snaking the chain and then how to find 1000% options. It's in the description of this video. But yeah, I have full tutorials over the years of all of these strategies. That's crazy, bro. All right, well, we'll see what happens. Capital One deal clears Justice Department. All right, not bad. Oh, they're dropping the bids on all of them. All right, we'll see. Dude, that's crazy. This thing was down 8 or 20? I don't even know. And be careful, you guys. These options, I was looking at other options right before. Everything's a scam, bro. Like, I was looking at those Qualcomms. Everything is like a 200% spread, bro. It's not even funny. So you got to be careful of that. All right, well, I'm happy. That was a banger, bro. Another one. I don't even know how. Yeah, and then those HYGs keep moving. DFS might get one. Just be very careful, though. Just be mindful. That's it. We just got lucky. We caught that early, and then I saw there was a 2-cent, 3-cent option, and it actually filled me. Otherwise, I was looking at Qualcomm ahead. Bro, the premium spreads are 100%. So, yeah, bro, it's crazy. It's insane, man. That's why I'm like, it's very hard to make a play right now, you guys. That's why I'm like, that was lucky, but shit, it's not like this isn't cool. Oh yeah, I think they're all dead now. All the premiums just died, and then the stock just moved down 8%. You guys realize that? That's what I'm saying is that these daily moves are so big. I don't think you guys understand what's happening to prices. Look at that. You just went 160 to 175. And then down another $5. You see what I'm saying? You said Qualcomm but meant Capital One. No. I said Qualcomm. I looked at Qualcomm. And then as I was looking at Qualcomm, the Capital One shit hit. And then I shifted to Capital One and then I executed a trade. All in that same time frame. So, no, I was talking about Qualcomm. Both of them. I know. Welcome to the market, baby. Yeah, then Dollar General. That was the one I actually had to let slip. That one's just climbing. Fed Jefferson. That was great. It might pop again, though, but this is huge. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Look at this amount, and I don't think we realize it. That's why those premiums were so fucked up. Because what's far or close, I mean, you're not supposed to move this much. You know, and that's why I'm saying, even on the SPY, like, the premiums are very wide. We have a very big range, so they're just raising the price on everything because what's impossible can become possible, and vice versa. And then that's why if you buy a shitty out of the money and then it moves against you, you're going to get wrecked because you're paying so much for a play so far out. I said there's a link for snaking. I did not say that. I said the description, there is a video called How to Find 1,000% Gainers. And then there's another video called Snaking the Chain and Finding Froggers on the trading fraternity. So that was the exact quote. All right, I sold another set, couple 100%. I'm cashing out. I only have 5 left now. I can't believe that. That was money, bro. That was crazy. Like, that was crazy. So that's good. We had our put plays, but that made me a lot. That helped add to the stats now. So we'll take that. All right. Then we got 5 of them left. Call it a day. No TikTok updates, but they did say we are expecting something before the Saturday or Sunday deadline. We might go down. It was starting to do that here, and then we were like, what, an hour post-Euro close? But, yeah, then we haven't really heard too much, but you went to 54.77. Oh, shit. You guys don't we did what I wanted. You hit the, lower end, but, yeah, it doesn't really tell you much. This just cools things down. This kind of just shows me we're calmer, but, nah, there's full volatility. This isn't over. Okay, premiums are back to open, but it's still, bro, it's a shit show. I think it's going to be a group, not one company. All right, well, let me go to the bathroom. That was a nice hitter. And what a day, bro. What a day. Welcome. All right, Jefferson. Screw all the Fed members. Only Powell matters. All right, you're going down, though. Watch out. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. Real Coat News on Twitter. HYG already hit. So the play is literally up 100% on the bid. And you are asking me what it will take. It only has 2 weeks. You're up 100%. I would make it free, big dog. Not a recommendation. I'll be right back.
They explained the reasons behind the Trump tariffs.
I would advise none of the countries to panic. I wouldn't try to retaliate, because as long as you don't retaliate, this is the high end of the number. And I think the market could have certainty that this is the number barring retaliation.
We really need to change the way trade works around the world. It's tariffs, but don't get confused that these non-tariff trade barriers, they are the monster that needs to be slayed.
In my old business, I was very concerned about market movement, and I'm trying to be Secretary of Treasury, not a market commentator. What I would point out is that especially the NASDAQ peaked on Deep Seek Day. So that's a Mag 7 problem, not a MAGA problem.
It's time for America to stop taking care of every other economy in the world and building them up. Let's build the American economy up. Let's build American GDP, and you're going to see great growth from America.
Joining us now from Washington is co-host of Bloomberg Balance of Power, Kayleigh Lyons. Kayleigh, quite a defiant administration there, an administration that seems very happy with its decisions in spite of some market reaction. What's the consensus in Washington? Jubilance, or is there a little bit of skepticism?
Well, in the administration, certainly they are happy with what this plan is. They think it will successfully help the U.S. rebalance trade relationships that this administration views as being unfair, as we just heard the Commerce Secretary alluding to on our air earlier today, not just in terms of tariff barriers, but non-tariff barriers, things like the value-added tax in Europe, for example, or regulation on technology companies that President Trump has been particularly vocal about. And that's why Europe now finds itself in this position where it's facing a 20% reciprocal tariff. That said, that doesn't mean that universally across Washington there is acceptance necessarily of these policies. Certainly in the economic community, there is a great deal of pushback about the detrimental effects these tariffs could have. And you're even seeing among some Republicans in Congress a bit of trepidation. Already last night, after these tariffs were announced, we saw a resolution put forward on the Senate floor, purely symbolic, but 4 Republicans voted along with Democrats on this resolution put forward by Democratic Senator Tim Kaine that would essentially undo the president's authority in invoking emergency economic powers on the tariffs on Canada specifically. And we just saw legislation introduced in the Senate today, bipartisan, co-sponsored by Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell and Republican Senator Chuck Grassley, that would say if Congress does not approve these tariffs within 60 days, they are nullified. So certainly you're seeing a little bit of consternation about.
But yeah, I'm glad they played that Besant quote, because I could use that to explain a lot of what I feel. He said it, man. This is what I was telling you, where I'm like, listen, you can't ignore those numbers that were announced yesterday. They were objectively high. And did you hear what he said? He doesn't want anyone to retaliate because that is the high price. Are you following? So they know it's a dumb number, bro. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculously high number. But the problem is if they try to retaliate, do you see how that could get even worse? That's crazy. That's the scary part. But then as long as they accept it and then are willing to just negotiate, then we could dramatically come down because that's already a high price. But that's why I'm saying, although there has been some very unwarranted fear over stuff, I will tell you right now, that tariff number on some of these countries, even the average blended rate, but even China, Europe, these are objectively high numbers. It's a very high price. That's why I keep telling you the stakes have been raised. But it's not as if this could either get dramatically worse or dramatically better, but you are at a pretty bad point. Again, a high price. So that's why they have to negotiate in good faith, because if they don't do that, then this goes to a full-blown trade war at levels now that make 2018 look tiny. That's what I'm trying to tell you. These are big, big numbers. All righty. So bonds coming back up. I'm sure one of these moves, it might break out, but I don't trust the bonds. But then again, the bonds are showing you there's not that much fear. I know that sounds weird to say while the NASDAQ is down 4.8. But let me put it this way. Here, I have a great way to tell you what I mean. Are you ready? Because the last time the NASDAQ was down 4.8, TLT went from 95 to 98 in that morning. And then the next day topped out at 100. So literally you closed at 91. Last time the NASDAQ went down 5, this would have been at like 96, 97. You see what I'm saying? There's zero fear bid on TLT. You could blame the stagflationary data and other things, but I do want you to notice that. Because that's why I'm saying it sounds weird that I'm talking out loud telling you, oh, yeah, there's not that much fear. Well, meanwhile, the NASDAQ's down 4.8. But I'm telling you, like the bond market, nobody is rushing to safety on that element. If anything, they just got out of NVIDIA, got out of NASDAQ, bought some MO and some other shit. But, yeah, BTI. Whoa, BTI. I saw it a couple times. I thought it was nothing. Up 4. That's a value. Ooh. These are hard. There's not as many. Yeah, I got some. I got partially filled. There's only one, but I got the further out the money one. It's not as good. Only got a couple. Not that at a very, literally, I think I'm in at like $20 total. So this one's not that big. Oh shit, no, I only got $10. Not even. Yeah. So watch out though, that's interesting. Just because it's value, that's what's it called? That's tobacco. It's value and it hasn't moved. That's a big enough move, but that could be a dud. So be careful. And like I'm saying, the contracts aren't too crazy. Watch them, yeah, man. Well, listen, if you watch them and come ask me about them, and I could tell you actually watched it, and not just asking me because you're just lazy and want to just ask me and not watch it, we'll make sure you understand it. Again, there's a lot of people here. They understand a lot about the market and options, and because they've worked with me like that. I don't want anything from you. I just want to know you're actually as committed as I am, and that's all I need. I liked XL. I did straddle on XLP yesterday. I took the profits on it, but it's a weird one. I think it would have hit if we ended up holding it. Okay, SPY coming up. Microsoft. This is good. This is kind of typical. Bonds are kind of trying to do the inverse, but this is good. There's going to be one more play. What time is it? I'll have one more play for you in like maybe an hour. If this keeps doing this. This is looking good. Yeah, Capital One, bro. I got 5 of them that the premiums are down now. ISRG. SPY 540. I like that it's a little closer, but that probably costs you a grip. So good luck. Capital One, I don't know. I haven't looked at them for the long term. Not yet, at least. Oh, damn, that old Carvana put went up to $1. Whoa, I still have that shit. Okay, red on Staples, it looks like. Hold on. But then bonds up again. No, not all Staples, even tech. Right at VWAP. Yeah, man. Dude, so be very careful on everything, dude. They are jacking the premium so wide. Just know, because no one knows. The market maker doesn't even know where we're going to end. That's what I'm saying. They have to charge double for these shitty plays because they all popped up. And then those HYGs keep climbing. That's the weird one, man. All of bonds. I think bonds, and like I said yesterday, the market may be saving some for tomorrow. Remember, non-farms. And then we already had ISM, but then bonds, they got rid of that. EU considers changing 2025 gas storage targets. Okay, you're coming back down. So watch, if that does break, though, this is going to change some of the setup. That's what I was saying. I want to see it. I just want to see it burn time. I'm not even looking really. That's all you need. Burn time. I feel like a market maker right now. White House, I don't know if it still is, but it might be. There was a suspicious package a little bit ago. So that might have something, some piece of truth to it. Wow. Dow Jones is down 1,200 points. Oh, I did have 10. Oof. I might have to wait till Philo because I don't want to put this out into the universe. You know, at least on Philo, it'll be like 1,000 of you. There's 6,000 of you right now. That's how you know the market's fucked. But yeah, I don't want to tell that many people. It's too bad. It's a bad tinfoil. I had this thought yesterday, bro. I was like, oh, fuck. I did announce the bad news. The bad news is that we are closing temporarily free long-term alerts. You can pay for them. And then we have raised the price of stream alerts, but now we will be offering performance-linked discounts. There's fat tariffs on Taiwan. That's the only thing, but the White House, there's just a package. I can't believe they went after Taiwan too, but Vietnam was the one. I'm telling you, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Indonesia were the secret. You guys know, and Cambodia. You guys know that? I think it's hilarious. Nobody realized this. That's why my mind was blown. Do you know how many people don't realize that was the way to get business in China? You went to those places. That's all you had to do. And so many people built around that. And I don't think people realize that. That's why I'm like, no fucking way he actually did that. Everybody in Asia, everybody in that geographic vicinity. Like, you got to, bro, it's like math. I don't think they were that smart, but it's like mathematical, like travel distance. You can't go miles without avoiding a tariff. You see what I'm saying? Bro, you used to just be able to offload to Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, and then Indonesia, boom, in between China, India, Australia. Money, bro. That was how you do it. But now you can't. You have to go halfway across the world and move your goods halfway. You can't. It's not as easy to circumvent now. And that's why I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, he patched the loophole pretty much. Exactly. And I don't think a lot of people realized how many. That's why Nike is down so much. There's a couple names that rely on Vietnam and Indonesia, Cambodia, and it's just like, damn, they got clapped. I will look at the email later, but not now. Non-farm mean non-pharmaceutical? No, it means non-farm, like a farm. Because back in the day, the economy, America used to be primarily farmers, believe it or not. That's why like the daylight savings is because of farming. We've came a long way from there, but yeah. All right, you're coming back down. Watch out. Bro, these reds out of nowhere. I mean, watch TLT. Just see if they can randomly come up. But, yeah. Russell is in a bear market now. Bro, chips are dumping. I think that's the big one. Literally, I keep seeing Sox S on the high. And then obviously NVIDIA, but they're not even at a low. What is this? So watch out. See if the staples end up giving up. Dow Jones, 8 names in the green, 22 in the red. NASDAQ 100, 23 green, 78 in the red. I mean, that's not that bad. I mean, we've seen worse. And then SPY 114 green, 388 in the red. Yeah, 26%. I know Qualcomm, is that it? I told you I liked those when I pulled it up, but the premiums were literally 100% on every put. The bid was 100% lower than the ask. I'm like, dude, there's no way. That means every trade you execute, just off a default, off the spread, you'll be down 25, 30% minimum. That's crazy. That's why I'm saying you got to watch out for it, because there's no value. There's no bid. You're not going to, and you're buying far out the money plays because the market just moved 5% overnight. Does that make sense? So, yeah, it's not, well, it's the break even plus I'm saying even if you wanted to flip it, you won't even have a bid. Hi, Josh. What up, JJ? Good morning. I hope it was a good morning. A wild morning. A-Lab on the low. Down 12. Big volume right now. That one's already been declining, though. So be careful. Then Qualcomm is literally down $2 since we looked. XLP. Well, that's the dilemma. I think XLP is going to rip. I only think it comes down if we get real fear. So if you get real risk off, something negative happens development-wise, right? Mother effers are going to just sell everything. And that includes staples. But for now, my idea of rotation, staples being green 1% really highlights that. So I think that's correct for now. But, we'll see if that ends up flipping. I just see spread. That's it. They're just widening the spreads, though, now. So I'm watching my value plays. They're just widening the spread. They're not really coming down, just dropping the bid, keeping the ask. Okay, we're going down. If you break below here, 541 break, danger zone, everyone's going to start rushing in again. But here, you could still kind of level out. But if it goes down a little bit more, that's it. The bouncy ball keeps rolling. And then watch the level, 54.50. That's probably going to be a little bit of that action. You don't think Trump did a threat but was an off-ramp? No, it's both, but it just all depends on what people do. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, what Bessent said, this is the highest price, and I agree with that. But if they retaliate, everybody will make it worse. So it could either be really good or really bad. All righty, coming back down. I want to see that other play. ADI, analog devices, it's trading like Qualcomm did. Yeah, fuck them. So that straddle, and I told you I took the break even? That play would have been down on the put still. That's stupid. Yeah, you got to be careful. They want your money. In the money only, brothers. In the money only for today. And even then, I don't even know if that's going to save you. Retaliation makes it worse because Trump will raise? Yes. Because that's what I'm saying. If he's willing to already throw that much down, I don't think if someone retaliates, Trump is going to walk away. He's just going to double it. But then now, if you mean to tell me this number is already boggling people's minds, myself included, and you want to go higher? Oh, yeah, you're fucked. And then vice versa. As long as they go lower, then we're great. Then that's the good one. GM to increase truck production following tariffs. Oh, what the fuck? Yo, Gus, are you okay? I'm assuming since you emailed me. Oh, dude. Bro, homeboy just got in a car crash. He just sent me the picture. Excuse me, you got insurance? Because that means we get in a new car, baby. That's good. I hope you're okay, man. I hope you're okay. That's terrible. Bro, a lot of names are just on the low dumping. Qualcomm is one of them. Yeah, silver linings. Yeah, go see a doctor, just in case. Netflix, because they have earnings. And then again, they're not really affected by tariffs to a degree. And that's what I'm saying. It may take a while, because right now we have a lot of fear and uncertainty. But give it some time, because essentially people are going to start picking apart who gets affected more or less. You know what I'm like? Literally, like banks are lower on the list. Netflix lower on the list. Car company high on the list. Chip company high on the list, right? And that's where we need more certainty surrounding the policy and what the rate is really going to settle at. But yeah, everyone's going to try to work this through. UPS? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Why would UPS be clapped? So they got clapped because bad earnings ahead of all of this, right? They started guiding down. Things are slowing down, higher costs. But like, ask yourself, where does UPS stand on the tariff list, essentially? What business are they involved in? Yeah, exactly. Costs more to ship, demand goes down. They're in the middle of all of it. So they're going to get impacted on probably the higher up on the list than not. Like UPS gets hit by tariffs way more than Netflix. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I think everyone's going to start figuring out slowly. And then once the fear dies down, is that there will be very clear winners and then very, very clear losers. And some people are much more involved, whereas some people are much more insulated or a couple steps removed from the tariff impact. Core weave. All right, there's your pop. It's not even a pop. This is all just liberating values. This is all just a premium scam, bro. I'm telling you. I don't think the real move is going to happen till the last hour. If not, we have to react to non-farms. All of this is just a scheme for premium at this point. That's literally, we might get random individual names like that. What was that one we just hit? We killed it, Capital One. Like, you might get random shit like that, but this is all just to fuck with the values. I'm telling you, this is wicked. It's been a while since I've seen it like this. No one talking about Powell. Powell loves this. Now Powell could do whatever he wants, and you're not going to blame him. You're going to blame tariffs. I told you this a couple weeks ago. He's loving it. He does talk tomorrow. So you get non-farms and Powell. That's good, though, because Powell's either he's going to try to say the same thing tomorrow, or maybe he doesn't talk on policy at all. But, yeah, it's good to hear from him after a day like today. Oil is dumping. I'm seeing a lot of energy names on the low and then more chips. Micron at 70. Whoa. How come no one said anything about that? Oh, yeah, dude. Bro, wait till Micron gets to the 60s. But, yeah, Micron's almost at 2017 prices, bro. They're not a bargain yet. Some of them are. Some chips are bargain bin. Others are still there. You know, they're about to be in the bargain bin. All right. You're still, again, this is just messing with the premiums. Yeah, financials are kind of stable. Thank you for defeating your woke retirement savings. I mean, well, let me ask you this. Do you guys think houses are going to get cheaper? So what I'm asking you is that hypothetically your 401k should be up like what? Double? 50% from the last 4 years? So would you trade half of your 401k or 25% of those gains? Would you trade it in for affordable housing? So silver lining. But yeah, I mean, again, everything is honestly though individual based. That's just the sad reality. Some people are getting burned right now. I'm still in the green. It all depends on how you position. Again, some people's retirements, if you chose safe option, you're not really scared. If you chose a heavy bond portfolio, you're not really mad. You know what I'm saying? There's so much dispersion among holders right now. Household wealth is at the highest, but yeah, it's kind of wild. So we'll see, but some people are being liberated. Some people are being decimated. Is that a good way to put it? Well, do you think the Fed is going to cut more than 3 times this year? Oh, I don't know. I don't care. I stopped playing that game. Amazon testing new feature, buy for me, in beta Amazon. Live in Amazon shopping. What's that? And then still uncertainty around trade, says Fed Jefferson. Like, if I was like before I started dating my girl, if I was like trying to take her out on a date, and then she was like, I'll be ready at 4. And then she texts me later and she's like, no, never mind, I'll be ready at 2. And then 10 minutes later, she texts me and says, no, I'll be ready at 1. And she said, no, never mind, I'm going to be ready at 6. And then she texts me again and says, actually, I can't make it to dinner tonight. And then texts me again and says, no, I'll be ready at 2. I would just stop listening to her and say, just call me when you're ready, okay? So that's how I feel about the Fed, unfortunately. So, yeah, just call me whenever you're ready. I'll be here. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll be available, maybe not, but I'm not playing that game. Abolish her. It's the best response. Abolish the Fed. Abolish her. Get rid of her now. Abolish her. What? No news. Just a couple of comments from Germany down to Canada. Well, Canada and Germany tied together. Shine bomb and all of that. But people said they'll respond and everything's still kind of lukewarm. It's not really any clarity. And we got some ideas, but I would say you're arguably in the same feeling that got us here in the morning. And then a lot of premium crush. Not even crush, just be careful of spreads, really. How much do I charge to be a relationship therapist? I don't know, but I should. Like I said, anytime we have a philo that gets into that topic, there's a lot of demand. So, yeah. But it's funny because you guys remember when I told you my like 3 things? And I was like, listen, if y'all looking for a girl, this is what you should prioritize. And I told you my little tricks, right? I told you my standards. So just like everything I always tell you, at least a couple people get mad offended, right? And I had somebody get mad offended at that. But I was dying of laughter. You know why? Because I'm like, you getting mad at me, but like, dude, no cap. Everything I told you is literally what my mom told me. So, get mad at her, not me. I'm a good son. I listened to what my mama said. So mama said the girl the devil. So I said no, that one's not. That girl's the devil. My mama said. So yeah, that's what I just gave you my mom's standards, bro. She really do know best, though. And see, you know how many times I go back and I'm like, damn, she was right. She was right, bro. Mama warned me of them snakes. I didn't listen. I had to learn the consequences because they finally bit me. Whoa. That's high quality H2O. Y'all don't get it, bro. Like when we were growing up, I wasn't allowed to sleep over at people's houses until I was 18. This was before anybody knew about Jeffrey Epstein, before you knew about Harvey Weinstein. You know what I'm saying? Before anything. And she's like, you can't sleep over at people's houses. She's like, they gonna rape you. I was like, what? And we were like, Mom, you're crazy. 20 years later, my mama, how'd you know, Mama? They were raping them, Mama. They really, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I said, no. So yeah, we thought she was crazy, but now I'm like, nah, she was onto something. Because now with what I know, if I ever had kids, I'd say exactly what she said. I'd be like, we have a house. They could come sleep over here. You ain't sleeping over anywhere. What the fuck? What do you mean you want to go to somebody's house? That's crazy. Yeah, but that was before they knew. That was before before P. Diddy, dog. What do you mean? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how AirTag solved that problem, but yeah. Oh, yeah, my sisters had it way harder. They weren't allowed to see sunlight. It's hard in the Middle Eastern culture. It's harder. It's harder for women. Right? Afghanistan supporters? No? No? Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you understood. Oh, you didn't. That's why you caved on all the women's rights in Afghanistan. Oh, you didn't understand. I get it now. I feel. You thought they were like, you thought everybody had freedom. Yeah, no. America's special. Yeah. We have it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was allowed to have people sleep over at my house. But then my mom, she's smart as hell, though. Because, like, I'd have friends who'd want to sleep over on Saturday. But if you slept over on Saturday, you had to come to church on Sunday. So she said, if they ain't coming to church, they can't sleep over. She said, why are they sleeping over then? And I was like, damn. I was like, man, that's like the watch list in the stream. She understood it. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, she knew the whole time, bro. Why hasn't my girl moved in? I mean, she kind of did. So I just did what any, like, fake religious person does. I bought her a house. So technically she has her own home, but then she spends as much time at my house like she lives here. So according to the religious law, we're doing it correctly. But on paper, I mean, technically she lives in her own house. So if somebody like you or my mom asks, she does have her own house. So technically she does not, but she's at my house a lot. No, and then if you bring up any of my past relationships and you're not current on my current relationship, I'm banning you. Because then that just shows me the last time you started listening. So some of you are 3 years behind. 4 years. 4.5 now. Unfortunately. I make you kufta. Shukran, Habibi. It's funny because that's funny, but like, you know, it's just so like it's so weird. Like I'm gonna make you a kebab is what he told me. He just told me he's gonna make me a kebab. You know, I was like, wow. How'd I find such a wonderful woman? I set an extremely high standard and I didn't succumb. That's it. All of you will. There's a lot of great people in this world, and I think a lot of you will find that. But you just got to get over the whole, like, she's hot, let me ignore everything. Does that make sense? I'm being dead serious because this is solid advice. And you don't have to settle for a ugly girl. But at the end of the day, a lot of the bad relationships were simply because of attraction, and that's it. So you should probably... I know a lot of you can save a lot of heartache if you just realize you're like, yeah, that person's terrible. They're just hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Some of you will have to learn that the hard way. And I pray for you because not everybody comes out of that. But, yeah. Gotta start with yourself. Tell him. Just for real, though. No. Everything. You will get a 10 everything. That's it. I'm being dead serious. That's all you have to do. The moment you decide to not settle for anything less than exactly what you want, you'll get it. It's going to come to you at a weird time, but it'll happen. Yeah, oil's down 7, bro. I saw that and was tripping, but everything except bonds worked. This sucks, though, because now when I look at TLT in the market, there's another war to be had because Trump, he got the high negotiating, he got oil down. Who cares what the market did? But the yields did not move enough. That's what I'm saying. No, it's exactly it. And I think that could happen because mother effers like Gunlock and people are in the data. As long as you have enough fear and stagflation data, that could happen. If everything crashes except the yields, that would be terrible. But then again, welcome to deflation at that point. You would have a full-blown hard land. That would be the worst environment ever. You're scared? Is that the devil effing with you? I don't know. It might be. But fear is good. You know that the thorn in the flesh is good. Fear is good for you, bro. Believe me. You know, yesterday my fear got me a fucking 2,000% UVXY. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, wait, I got a lot of calls. And I was like, even though I took a lot of profits, I was like, what I'm holding is a lot of calls. So let me buy a UVXY. And that ended up, that fear was good. You know, other times I was fearful and I sold out way too early and I could have made 1,000%. So it really depends on the situation. I don't think all fear is from the devil. I think some fear is good. But it really depends on what it is. And I think that's why, in a weird way, your fear is good for you, mostly. If you ever let it get extreme, it's not good for you. But I think a little ounce of, like, fear is like salt. A little bit in almost any recipe makes it taste really good. You know, any idea you have, put a healthy amount of fear in it. You know, sprinkle some salt on it. You'll be, you know, it helps add flavor. But too much salt, it's going to ruin the dish. So there you go. That's how I would look at fear. Mm-hmm. You're like, what if I snort it? Oh my gosh, no. Okay, but what if the cash is at 32% and then it's small and then I had a good 18 years of my life and then a Boeing go down and then I snort the salt? Can I buy or should I hold? Like, what? I didn't say. How did you come up with that? Oh, no. That's okay, I guess. All right. Why not? I like CRM, but you need it at a discount. CRM is Meta. That was the other play that had a crazy gain like Meta that wasn't NVIDIA. But yeah, I need it at $130. I don't know if you'll get that again, but that's where you buy CRM. I wouldn't touch CRM above $200. I think they have too much going on, both good and bad. But that's my opinion. So, yeah. Good with parables? Well, thank you. I do. I think it's a gift that I have. I've been blessed to be able to understand like crazy shit, but then I also speak like, people get mad at how I speak because it's so simple. So I think God gave me the blessing of both worlds because I could just explain shit. This is how I think about it. I could read like a textbook and understand it conceptually, but in my mind, this is how I simplify everything. So, like I told you, I'm pretty dumb, and I like being dumb because it helps. It helps a lot. You know, you don't have to make it complex. Good education and understanding will help you, but if you make it too complex, I mean, you're never going to act on it. That's why smart people don't always get rich. You guys know that? Because if you're actually smart, you're not going to take risk. You guys get that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're like some of the shit that I do, I understand what the smart move would be to run away. What the fuck do you mean? Why are you doing anything in volatility? Why aren't you just giving your money to a money manager? What do you mean? This is not you're going to take on all of it? That's not a good idea. But that's the kind of the whole idea is to take the risk, and you'll get more or you'll get less. But yeah. All right, man. This is the level again. Make no mistake. Remember, they just burning you slow. And I hope you guys get it. I'm going to just use one play as an example. Like, look, that means all you got from here to here was 20 cents on a $300 put. Do you get that? That's crazy. So now it's moving, but I want you to really see it's just slowly just lowering the value, even though it's coming down. It's not what you think right now. Any plays, you got to really think ahead. You can't do this short-term shit trying to flip it today. You win some, you'll lose some, but the odds are not in your favor. You either know, but think ahead. You just got to know where shit's going to end up. You have to be very ahead right now. You see what I'm saying? But if you're going to try to get in the middle and do the short-term shit, everybody's trying to do that right now. And the market maker doesn't know too. So, it's, again, you can make money, but I'm just saying that's terrible to risk, to take all of that risk from here and then you bounce and could lose everything. You're doing that for 20 cents. So this is very different than just the last 48 hours. Like I'm saying, now this is the difference between a straddle making money no matter what or a straddle losing no matter what. It's the reverse of the last couple days. Now you buy a straddle, you're going to lose no matter what because the premiums are too high on both sides. And then you're so far out the money, one move it'll make the range too wide on any straddle. So yeah, it's a weird. IV is high, but it's crushing at the same time. I don't know how to describe it. It's complex, bro. It's very difficult. And that's why, and again, I think if you just look at your portfolio and prices, I think what I'm saying makes a lot of sense. Not everything, just anything with you. I think you can make money if you know where it's going to end. That's it. Sadly, you need to know what price is the SPY going to go to? What price is so-and-so stock going to be at? And then calculate the break even, make sure it's not insane, and then those I think you can make money, when the dust settles, we'll look back, and then if it's in the money, there you go. Everything. UVXY premiums went up 1,000%. SPY plays are up 1,000 to 2,000%. It's not, everything is jacked. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep you guys safe on anything. So if you're hearing it and you're like, oh, I'm not going to do anything and get mad at me, you're a bitch. Because I'm just saying for the guys who are more newer and everything, right now, I'm not telling you to retreat from battle. I'm trying to let you know that they have really strong forces. You understand? Like, that's what I'm trying to let you know right now, is that you're going against heavy defense. This isn't, you need to know your enemy if you're going to try to win right now. So, unfortunately, like I'm saying, this battle here, you might want to look for either a different battle or, I would hold off the cavalry unless you see an opportunity. But like I'm saying, know what you're going up against. Trump will ask Congress to rubber stamp his funding cuts, top OMB official says. It's that, or like I'm saying, if you want to think ahead, if you think this is really going to lead to that rotation, you move your troops to the staples. You see what I'm saying? Or you go to a different area. You don't have to fight the SPY. You don't have to fight on this battlefront. And that's where I think everybody doesn't know what to do right now because you don't know what's going to stay or not. All right. Well, on that note, Chad, I love you all. The market's kind of chilling, but that never stopped Philo. So, we got to move on to Philo. Unfortunately, it will be members only. But on a day like today, if listening is important to you, I mean, I don't know if it's worth $5 on a 5% day, but unfortunately, that is the only offer I have for you. So we're going to go to Philo, and we got to talk about life a little bit. White House eyeing TikTok deal for tomorrow and a pair of executive orders. But I will see you there on Philo, my brother. So have a good day. God bless America. And we should be back around Power Hour. So if not, I should be, though. I might be on earlier, if anything. But I'll see y'all in a little bit. and peace. Woo! Wait, do I have it set up? Yeah. Beautiful.